With Mitch, Danon, and Clean, right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. An Odyssey Sports Station. Nobody in Kansas City has sports like 96.5 The Fan.
Right side throw, touchdown! Kansas City! A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime! Kansas City wins the game!
Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Back-to-back best sports talk hosts as voted on in the Pitch magazine.
Live from the Fan Studios. Here's CDOT.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. It is finally here, Red Friday, for one of the most anticipated games of the regular season between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills. We are going to cover this thing forward and backward for all 4 hours of today's show. Coming up in just a little bit, we are going to be joined by Jeremy White of WGR in Buffalo. He does mornings in Buffalo. We'll get his thoughts getting ready for this matchup. Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1 is going to join us on the show today. Nate Taylor is going to join us in studio. So we got you covered today for one of the biggest games of the NFL regular season between the Chiefs and the Bills. 100% of the country is going to have access to Sunday's game. This is not a game that's going to be covered up. This is not a game that's going to be blacked out. This game is going to be available to everybody. I think this is going to be the most watched regular season game that doesn't happen on Thanksgiving. We can acknowledge that Thanksgiving is a different time. Everybody is off work. It is part of the tradition to sit down and watch football. And you got the Chiefs going up against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. That's going to do a tremendous number. I actually think that's going to be the most watched regular season game ever when you combine those two brands, Patrick Mahomes and Thanksgiving, and now all the different avenues that we have to watch football. I think this is going to be the most watched regular season game of the year. You got these two quarterbacks, 100% coverage for the entire country. I'm expecting 35 million, possibly more, to watch this game if we get the usual exciting finish that we get in this matchup. We'll get to all of that coming up in just a little bit. I want to remind you guys, Jeremy White's going to be on the show here coming up in a bit. Danny Parkins is going to be on the show. Nate Taylor is going to be on the show. So we got you covered here on a Red Friday. What I need to remind you of is a couple of things. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I mean, telling two people to check out the show, I'd appreciate it. But if you could just tell one person, that's all I really need you to do. And number three, and what might be most important, I need you to remember that the open of the show each and every day is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. So if you're looking for somewhere to go watch Kansas City and Buffalo, maybe have yourself some Buffalo wings, get yourself a cold beer. You got televisions everywhere. Look no further than our friends over at The Other Place. So how I would like to begin the show today is by playing for you guys some audio. This is from Dan Orlowski of ESPN Get Up. So the question was posed, is this a must-win for Kansas City or is this a must-win for Buffalo? Here's his answer.
Yeah, this is a must-win for Buffalo, and I go back to why last season ended the way it did. If you go to this matchup at home in Buffalo, Josh Allen has that massive run on fourth down that basically salts the Chiefs away, and then you go to the playoff game, that fourth down that was on the road in Kansas City where he's running around against that pressure, no plan for the protection, and it's a Hail Mary heave up, which ends up being somewhat of a drop by Kincaid. For Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, that game in the playoffs has to be played in Western New York.
I certainly understand the philosophy behind this, but I think this is a must-win for both teams. I'm not trying to dance out of this, but I think both teams equally need this game. Both of these teams are in a legitimate fight in their division. Kansas City has won the AFC West for 9 consecutive years. Buffalo has won their division for 5 consecutive years. For the most part, certainly during the Patrick Mahomes portion for the Chiefs, there hasn't really been a whole lot of competition. I mean, this team might pop up, but for the most part, the Chiefs have been able to run their own race, and they've really got out in front of everybody else. Buffalo has done the exact same thing. Sure, Miami pops up every once in a while, but the Jets have been unable to figure things out. You look at the rest of that division, they've been unable to get things going. The Patriots have now fallen on hard times, but the Patriots have turned things around. The Broncos have turned things around. The Chargers have turned things around. Both of these teams are in legitimate fights in their division. And right now, you can't afford to give up any ground. Now, both of these teams we think is going to make the postseason. Both of these teams are going to be there until the absolute end. But if we're talking about for this individual Sunday, I think both teams need it. I just told you why in the division. Neither one of these teams right now are the favorite to be the 1 seed in the AFC. That team is Indianapolis. Indianapolis has been the most consistent team in the AFC so far this season. They have the number 1 scoring offense. They've been a top 5 defense from start to finish. They've been running through opponents. Now, I'm not asking you to believe in the Indianapolis Colts. I'm simply sitting here giving you the facts that right now, if you go on your gambling app of choice, Indianapolis is the favorite to be the 1 seed. So it's not just about keeping up and keeping pace with whether it's the Broncos or the Chargers or with the Patriots in the AFC East. It's also a race for another team in the Indianapolis Colts. So both of these teams kind of need this one. Kansas City playing a lot better, playing with some momentum. You look at the other teams in your division, you want to keep pace with them heading into a bye week. If you look at Buffalo, you've already lost the home game against the New England Patriots. You need this game too. Now, let's talk about a statement game and what I think this means for both of these teams heading into this matchup. There is a massive difference in being 6-3 and coming off a win at Buffalo heading into the road game against the Broncos, than being 5-4 heading into the bye week and really needing to win the Broncos game when you get back off of the bye week. Now, it's going to be important regardless of what happens, but we have talked about the Chiefs for the last couple of weeks like they've been the AFC without having the record to prove it. You win this game and you're 6-3 going into the bye week, and you just came off a win in which you went on the road and beat Buffalo, and you started this run by beating the Detroit Lions. There's going to be no question in my mind, regardless of what the record is, on who the best team is, not just in the NFL, not just in the AFC. So we're talking about a statement game of building a resume as we are building towards and getting closer towards Thanksgiving, getting closer toward the postseason. Let's play the schedule game for a little bit. When talking about Buffalo, they don't have many impressive wins. Buffalo has beat up on the bad teams in the National Football League this season. Now, if you want to give them a lot of credit for their opening win against the Ravens, sure, you can do that. The Ravens were healthy at that point. Our perception of the Ravens was really strong. But as the season progressed, that win got less and less impressive. And outside of that, they just beat up on bad teams. They beat up on Miami. They beat up on Tennessee. They beat up on Miami. They beat up on the bad football teams. And since then, when Buffalo has played anybody with the pulse, they lost. The Patriots look like they got a pulse. They lost that game. The Falcons, I don't know if it's a consistent pulse, but the Falcons got a pulse. The Bills got handled for 60 minutes in that game. Buffalo in 2025, not 2024, not with what they've done in the past. Buffalo today, here and now, in present day, they got to prove that they're one of these teams. Kansas City's proven it, in my opinion, by beating Detroit a couple of weeks ago. Buffalo hasn't proven that so far. So as we begin the show today, as we begin getting you ready for what should be a very exciting Sunday, I don't think that it is more of a must-win for this team or that team. I think both teams equally need this game. I agree with the premise that if you're Buffalo, you certainly want to host this game in January as opposed to going on the road. And you want to talk about a hostile environment, a fan base that would want nothing more than to end the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Buffalo at home in the postseason in fear of what could be the last game in that stadium and having Patrick Mahomes be the one to turn off the lights. That's not an environment I would want to go into if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs. If you're Buffalo, you want that home game. You want that energy. You want to have that advantage. And then it's a statement game. It's a swing game. It's Kansas City going into the bye week at 6-3, coming off a couple of really impressive wins and some great defensive performances versus being 5-4. And I'm sorry, the Chiefs will be in an absolute must-win situation in a couple of weeks against the Denver Broncos. That conversation about the getting to 10 and dominating the AFC West, it will be in jeopardy for the next 2 weeks if they lose this game. Them having a home playoff game, it will be in jeopardy if they lose this game. And they're going to have to really do some work in November to get over that. For the most part, the Chiefs have undone a very, very slow start and come out on the other side. This is completely closing the circle. It doesn't matter if you started 0-2 if you win this game and now you're 6-3 going into the bye week. And if you're Buffalo and you lose this game, you're going to have to continue to answer the question, hey, who have you beaten? Because right now, people don't respect your resume. They don't respect what you've done so far. But all of that can end if you beat Kansas City in this game. You still got to prove it in January. But if you win this game, there will be no more conversations about the schedule game when it comes to the Buffalo Bills. I'm excited for this one. I think it's the best matchup that we have in the National Football League. You got two very even teams on paper, two teams that know each other very well, a coin flip kind of game. This feels like a divisional game, even though it's not. I saw this stat. Since 1950, this is the highest amount of games in which two quarterbacks have played each other before both quarterbacks have turned 30. So we're talking outside of divisions. So we're talking about two teams that know each other very well and have a history of playing close games against one another. And I'm expecting nothing different coming up on Sunday between these two teams. Coming up on the other side, we'll go through some of the top memories in the rivalry between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1H2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. This is the show where your money is not scary. It's a show that's all about you. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and entertaining insights on your money, and more importantly, on your life. Listen and follow Jill on Money on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
96.5 The Fan, your home for Kansas City sports. Wake up with Fesco and Dusty from 6 to 10. Hang out with Cody and Gold from 10 until 2. And on your way home, tune in for The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Can't listen in the car? Listen live or on demand with the Odyssey app. And watch all the shows on YouTube or your favorite social media platforms. Your home for Chiefs football. Your home for Royals baseball. Your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Juju Smith-Schuster from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
So we began today's show playing the clip from Dan Orlowski of ESPN's Get Up. He calls this a must-win for the Bills. I agree. I also think this is a must-win for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's Dan Orlowski of ESPN.
Yeah, this is a must-win for Buffalo, and I go back to why last season ended the way it did. If you go to this matchup at home in Buffalo, Josh Allen has that massive run on fourth down that basically salts the Chiefs away. And then you go to the playoff game, that fourth down that was on the road in Kansas City where he's running around against that pressure, no plan for the protection, and it's a Hail Mary heave up, which ends up being somewhat of a drop by Kincaid. For Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, that game in the playoffs has to be played in Western New York.
I understand the sentiment that Dan Orlowski is saying, and I don't disagree with what he is saying. I just think you can make a lot of those same arguments for Kansas City. Maybe not where the playoff game needs to be. We've seen Kansas City win this playoff game at home, and they've also won it in Orchard Park. But both of these teams are in a very, very contentious race in their division and for the 1 seed in the AFC. The Chiefs might not need it, but it certainly would be nice to have. It'd be great to play a home playoff game. It'd be great to not go on the road for potentially the AFC Championship game or the divisional round. So I think the Chiefs need this. I think the Bills need this. I've told you guys, I think Buffalo will have one of the biggest fumbles that we've seen in the last decade if they don't get the 1 seed. Everything was built for them to get the 1 seed. And then if you look at the way that the season is playing itself out, we spent so much time talking about this big 4 quarterbacks in the AFC. I mean, Joe Burrow is injured right now. Lamar Jackson has missed a big portion of the season and is just getting back. His team is 3-5 right now. So the AFC is not shaping out the way that we thought it was. You got Denver. They're making a little bit of noise. Pittsburgh, the Chargers, some of your usual suspects, New England, but that's a team that's in Buffalo's division. So if you're Buffalo right now, the AFC, I don't want to say it feels wide open because you got to deal with Kansas City, but if it's not the Chiefs, then who? The answer needs to be the Buffalo Bills. So I think that both sides just equally need to win this game. We also talked about how much of a statement game that I think this is for Kansas City. They can be 6-3 or 5-4 heading into the bye week. There is a massive difference, and it puts a different pressure going on the road to Denver if you are 5-4. If they're on the road going to Denver with 5-4 and Denver's got a 2-game lead and got a chance to go up 3 with 7 to go, we got to start having some different conversations about the Broncos. We got to start having some different conversations about Kansas City and the AFC West. Now, let's see how things play itself out. But I think both teams really, really need to win this game for various reasons. Let's take a trip down memory lane. I asked Rob to give me what he thinks are the 5 biggest memories from Patrick Mahomes against Josh Allen. I mean, we have to start here, don't we?
36-36 tie in overtime. Chiefs first down and goal to go. Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelsey on a push fade comeback. And the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
I believe the Chiefs and Bills is the best game that Arrowhead Stadium has ever seen. I don't know if you can find a game at Arrowhead with a bigger swing or a game really, period. I mean, Kansas City is up 33-29 with 2 minutes left in the game. With 2 minutes left in the game. So you just score a touchdown. It's 2 minutes left in the game. You're thinking you just got to get one stop. Well, they go down the field. They then score a touchdown in this scenario. What? Big pass play to Gabe Davis. And then you get the ball back. And you remember, Buffalo, they're hugging each other. Buffalo feels like they won this game. They're going to the AFC Championship game. And if I'm remembering it correctly, Buffalo is then going to be hosting the game. Kansas City gets the ball back, kick the ball off, 13 seconds touchback out the back of the end zone. Next thing you know, 19-yard pass, 25-yard pass. Harrison Butker kicks a 49-yard field goal. You go to overtime. You win the coin toss. You win. You advance to the AFC Championship game. You want to talk about a swing of momentum. You go from up with a minute to go to down with 50-something seconds left. You then tie the game. You go to overtime. What an incredible ending. That is the moment, the memory from this rivalry. But trust me, there have been other ones. One thing that I hate about the way that we discuss Josh Allen, the way that we discuss his career and everything that has happened, sometimes I think it's painted like it's woe is me kind of stuff. Well, the last 2 years, Buffalo has had the ball at the end of the game with a chance to go win it. One of those times, they did this.
1:47 to go in the game on 4th down and 9 for Buffalo. Placement down. Bass's kick is up, and the kick is no good! A little prophecy! Tyler Bass has struggled, and he just misses the kick.
Kansas City will next snap with a 34-yard.
And the Chiefs will take over at the point of the missed kick. Their own 34-yard line as Tyler Bass misses this wide to the right.
Buffalo was down 27-24. They got the ball at home with 8 minutes left in the game. They had a 6-minute and 40-second drive. This is the drive. Now, I'm not saying it ends the game. The Chiefs get the ball back. They get a chance. So the game's not over. But you got a chance to not just tie the game. You got a chance to take the lead, and you have the opportunity to put some pressure on Kansas City to where now they got to go down the field and potentially score a field goal, a touchdown to try to beat you in your building with that crowd going crazy and your defense having the ability to pin back their ears and go get after the other team's quarterback. If you guys remember, you go back, it is 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Rob, they got one more yard. Now, they drove down the field. It's 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. You still got the 2-minute warning to go, and you still got 2 timeouts. You got to find a way to put this ball in the end zone come hell or high water. There is no excuses. You're the second-best quarterback in the NFL. You're an MVP. We think one day you're going to Canton. You're one of the greatest quarterbacks that we've ever seen. You got the other team on the ropes in your building. You've driven the ball down the field. You got to find a way to score a touchdown. 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 27-yard line. They run the ball on 1st down. They throw it twice on 2nd and then on 3rd down. Incomplete, missed field goal. Some of that's got to be on your quarterback. You did a great job getting them down the field. Phenomenal. You got to finish your breakfast. And they didn't finish their breakfast. So if you're Josh Allen, I'm not leaving it to the kicker. I'm not doing that. Not when you know you got a killer on the other side, somebody that wants to end you, and that's exactly what happens. Chiefs get the ball back, they run out the clock, and now your fans are mad, and they throwing snowballs on the field because you guys lost. So I don't want to make it seem like woe is me and the rules and the coin toss, and no. You had an opportunity. You failed on the opportunity. You lose. Good day, sir. I mean, that wasn't the only time that happened. It happened last year, too. Don't talk to me about the tush push and the ball spot. No, you had the ball 1st and 10 from the Kansas City 30-yard line. You didn't get to midfield. You wasn't good enough. Simple. You weren't good enough. Here's more Josh Allen.
4 to the left side of the field. That's the wide side. Ball to be snapped on the right hash. 4th and 5, Josh Allen. Now he brings Khalil Shakir in motion. Orbit motion, now peels back to the left. Chiefs are chasing Josh Allen. He throws it up for grabs, and the pass is incomplete! Incomplete! Off the arm of the would-be receiver, Dalton Kincaid! Kansas City has the second 4th down stop in this half!
2 4th down stops in the half. You just heard from Mitch Holthus. 2 of them. Some of that's got to be on the quarterback, man. I'm not putting that on the officials. I'm putting that on your QB. You got to be better. You got to take your team down the field. It's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. You got 1 first down. 1. Josh Allen didn't complete a pass on the drive. The drive ended at the 47-yard line. You got 17 yards with the game on the line. Josh Allen had the opportunity to go into Arrowhead and break hearts. That's what Patrick Mahomes lives for. That's what Tom Brady lives for. That's what Michael Jordan lives for. I want to go into your stadium, and I want to ensure that your fans leave heartbroken. Josh got to show us that he's built like that. I know Pat is. I know one thing, the Chiefs would have gotten field goal range at a minimum. It was a 3-point game. You didn't even need to score a touchdown. You could have extended the game. It was 32-29 with 3 minutes left, and you got the ball. You got to get the ball to midfield. You didn't even give Tyler Bass a chance to miss this year's kick. You didn't get to field goal range. Embarrassing. Now, there have been a couple of other things that have happened in these games, too, that I also want to play for you guys. We've seen Patrick Mahomes mad. I would say the 2 times that I've seen him most upset, it was the playoff game against Jacksonville, you remember, where Andy goes to tell him that he's not going back in the game, and understandably, Pat had a meltdown on the sideline. He slams his helmet, I'm good. Well, it's up to Andy to look out for you and protect you and put you in a good situation. I understand why Andy stepped in and said, hey, we'll win this game. Go make sure that you're good, and we'll move on from there. And it was also after this.
20-17 Buffalo. They send another blitz. Selling out. Flag on the play. Might be a free one. They've got Kelsey at the 30. Kelsey 25, angling back. 20. Now he's going to lateral it back at the 15-yard line. It's Tony. 10, 5, touchdown, Kansas City. They mess around in practice with this all the time. It's going to go with a 49-yard touchdown. Kelsey, the old University of Cincinnati quarterback.
Number 19, offense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Boy, Pat was mad on this line. Pat was mad. Who was that player, Rob, for the Pistons? Remember that time that LeBron accidentally cut him and he was like trying to go after LeBron and he's like storming on the field?
Isaiah Stewart?
I think that's him. That's how Patrick Mahomes looked on the sideline afterwards. He just looked mad. We learned 2 things there. Number 1, we already knew this, but it was just a fun reminder. Man, Travis Kelce loved a lateral, man. He was a quarterback back in the day. I could tell that Travis Kelce played a lot of NFL street, you know? I could just tell. Just played a lot of NFL street, a lot of option football, a lot of pitches, a lot of all of those things. I get it. I love it. I think we also knew right then and there that Kadarius Toney was never coming back. Never coming back. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the game, you know, Kadarius Toney kind of leaves the locker room a little bit early. Pat kind of hangs back, and then he goes in. Hey, Andy, you free? Hey, get him off the team. Please, get him off the team. I don't want to be around him anymore. That might have been the last time that we honestly saw Kadarius Toney. I think he then opened up a SoundCloud page immediately after this. That's when he really started investing in rap after that. He knew at that point, hey, I might got to figure something else out. That's when the Chiefs told him he was hurt. He was like, I feel fine. No, you're not fine. Something's wrong. We need to get to the bottom of it. I'm telling you, Pat hasn't talked to Kadarius Toney since that day. They have not spoken to each other. Pat deleted his number out his phone. He hasn't talked to him since. Please stay away from me. I don't want to be around you. You got to get off my team. You costed me money. That's what happened. Then remember, Pat was mad for like 10 minutes after that. Remember, that's when they had he went up to Josh Allen and hugged him and was still mad. He probably still mad about that. Walk up to Pat at 1587 and bring it up. He going to have you removed from the building. He going to have you removed from the premises. Please don't talk about this to me. You wear a Kadarius Toney jersey in there, I'm telling you, they're going to have you escorted. You're not going to be welcome back to the Lowe's after that. Now, I think Kansas City's better than Buffalo. I do. I'm not just saying that because we're here. You know, I don't have any problem picking against the Chiefs. Sometimes I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to lose. Week 2, Philadelphia was just better than they were, and that's okay. That's life. Sometimes people are better than you. Kansas City, right now, I think Kansas City is a better and more complete team than the Buffalo Bills. On offense, on defense, I think the Chiefs are better than the team that they are playing. So regardless of where this game is played, I got to go with my gut. I got to take the better team. I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm actually taking the Chiefs -3.5 to give myself plus money. I think the Chiefs are winning this game. But I will acknowledge this. These games just always come down to one play. It's always one thing. These two teams are about as even as two teams could possibly be. Last year in the regular season, it was the example.
This defense has made play after play after play all year to this 9-0 start. Can they make one here down 2? At 2:27 to go in the game. Allen is flanked. Teammates on both sides, takes the snap, faking a swing route to the right. Now Allen will try to run. He's going to break a tackle. First down, 25-20, inside the 10 to the 5, and drags Brian Cook into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. At 2:17 to go in the game. A 26-yard run by Josh Allen.
That's what you and I talk about, Rob, when we talk about the Zombieland double tap. You want to know what Buffalo went for in that moment? They went for the kill shot. We're not kicking a field goal with Tyler Bass. We think we have you, and we are in an advantageous situation. We're going to take advantage of this. We got you on the ground. We're going to beat on you until we think that the fight is over. That's how you got to play Kansas City. We got an opportunity. We can kick a field goal and give Mahomes a chance to go down the field, or we can go win the game ourselves. I'm not giving it to James Cook. I'm not throwing it to Keon Coleman or Schultz or any of those other guys who are all great players. They really are. They're really great players. We're going to trust our 6'6", 245-pound quarterback. We're going to give him the ball. We're going to let him run downhill, and we're going to bet that you guys can't stop him. And they were right. I mean, 5 of the last 6 games between these two teams are one-possession games, and one of them was the one that I just mentioned, in which it was close in the final 2 minutes of the game. Buffalo just went forward on 4th down to make it a 9-point lead, and that's how they ended up winning the game. So if there's one thing we know about this game is it is going to be close, it is going to be competitive, it is going to be entertaining, it is going to go down to the wire. Who can avoid the big mistake? Who can execute? Who can make plays? Who can eliminate negative plays? That is usually the team that wins the matchup between these two squads.
Looking back at last year's game, we now have the advantage. We didn't know at the time, but ESPN was doing a documentary on the Chiefs last year, which we did not know at this time last year. It was clear for that double tap game how much Josh Allen making that run, scoring that touchdown, and icing down that game really stuck with the Chiefs. That's what I think is something that like we as fans and media lose about this rivalry, is because these two teams, they do respect each other. There is a respect. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I believe, are friends with each other. Like, it is competitive between the white lines and they want to win, but they are friendly with each other. But it was clear watching that Kingdom documentary from last year's game that it really bothered the Chiefs. It bothered Karlaftis. It bothered Bolton. Like, they highlighted players in that documentary that Josh Allen double tap play really stuck with all of them. And then the ensuing week they struggled against Carolina. It bothered them because they knew what championship level football looked like. And after a loss, it felt like they weren't there. Those are the kind of things that make this rivalry great. Hey, that team's good. And sometimes you lose, but the fact that it bothers them so much and it sticks with them to the level it does really highlights how much this Bills and Chiefs rivalries means to the players.
Let me ask you this question. Did you know that Buffalo has ran for more yards than any team in the National Football League, despite only playing 7 games so far this season, where Indianapolis has played 8, Kansas City has played 8, a lot of these other teams have played 8 games so far. They've already had their bye week. The Chiefs, example, have their bye week next week. It is very, very odd to feel that a team is, by numbers, the best at something and not feeling worried about it at all. Now, I'm not coming into this thinking that Kansas City is holding James Cook to 37 yards rushing and Josh Allen isn't going to have some success. We're talking about 2 of the better players in the league. But I don't really feel like James Cook is going to kill the Chiefs. I think he will be productive, sure, but I don't think he kills the Chiefs. It's a very comforting feeling heading into a matchup like this against a player like him who is as hot as any running back in the NFL this side of Jonathan Taylor, and feel like you match up against him very, very well. I mean, we're talking about James Cook is averaging 6 yards a carry so far this season. He already has 7 touchdowns through the first 7 games of the season. We're talking about a guy who has been an absolute dog so far this season. Sure, you can make the argument that all of it happened in the Carolina game. I mean, he ran for 132 yards against the Jets earlier. He ran for 108 yards against the Dolphins on 19 carries, had 117 yards back in week 4 against the New Orleans Saints. Now, you haven't gone up against a rush defense like this that I think is capable of taking you away, but the Chiefs are going up against the number 1 rush offense in the NFL, and it doesn't feel like it is a storyline in any capacity in Kansas City because the Chiefs' run defense has been very well. They've performed very well against these kinds of running backs, these kind of teams.
I want to look it up because I feel like James Cook last year was good in both Chiefs games. Like, I feel like I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because last year I remember in the postseason he had that diving touchdown and the Chiefs still got the best of him. Last year in the postseason against the Chiefs, he had 13 carries for 85 yards, a cool 6.5 yards per carry. James Cook was successful against the Chiefs in that game. In the Chiefs regular season game last year, it felt like James Cook was good again. I'm trying to pull up his game log real quick from last year. James Cook has had a level of success against the Chiefs. He has not been a guy they just stifle, and there's no way they can get him. I guess he was bad last year, 9 for 20. Josh Allen was the running problem last year. But it feels like so much of this game is going to come down to Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. And maybe that's just me falling for the narrative, falling for the storyline, falling for the highlights, but James Cook has been good in this game, and it doesn't matter. James Cook has made plays that you remember in this game. It doesn't matter. Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes is the story, and I think some of your rushing stat, and this is not to diminish James Cook, some of the reasons the Bills are so successful running the ball is because Josh Allen is also a very successful runner. Like, he's not Lamar. Lamar might be the best we've ever seen a running quarterback, but he is in that second tier. If there's a name in your head other than Mike Vick or Lamar Jackson as a quality running quarterback, I'm betting Josh Allen is in this tier. So it's not just James Cook that makes the Bills so successful running the ball. It's the fact their quarterback, who's built like Cam Newton, is also really successful running the ball against the Kansas City Chiefs.
I mean, looking at it so far this season, Josh Allen has 50 carries for 260 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So I'm with you. I think he is a very different runner, but I would say on a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1 situation, that's where you kind of got to be careful when it's the Buffalo. They can give it to James Cook, who has proven himself to be a very capable back, or that's where you get that kind of Tim Tebow shotgun run play that you get from Josh Allen. You get his full speed, you get his momentum running downhill, and just makes him a very, very difficult player to stop. One thing that the text line kind of brought up that I did not know this. Did you know that James Cook doesn't have a catch in his last 3 games?
That's actually extremely surprising.
Not something I would have guessed because usually you are anticipating James Cook being somebody that is a dual threat. They throw it to him out of the backfield. I mean, he only has 14 targets this year and only has 1 target in their last 3 weeks. They really haven't thrown it to him a whole lot. Now, they used the passing game to get him into the Ravens game because he wasn't running the game effectively. But since week 1, he has 31 yards receiving since week 1. So he just hasn't really been a major factor in the passing game. Very interested to see in this one if that changes a little bit and the Bills try to exploit the Chiefs linebackers a little bit sideline to sideline and throwing out of the backfield. But was very, very surprised when I was getting ready for the show today that James Cook, he doesn't have a catch he didn't have a catch at any point in October, which is crazy to think for a team that for the most part has used him in that capacity.
Is there another running back they're using in that pass capacity? Like for a Chiefs analogy, you know how the Chiefs, they don't really throw the ball to Kareem Hunt or Isaiah Pacheco. They used Jerick McKinnon was this guy for a while. Then Brashard Smith became that guy. The Chiefs have like their designated, this is our receiving back. The fact that James Cook's getting no play in the receiving game, is there some backup running back like Ty Johnson or something, or they had Ray Davis for a while? Like, is that a guy they're using in the pass game, or they're just not throwing to backs at all this year?
They're just not throwing it to the backs. I mean, James Cook right now, he has 12 catches for 89 yards. I mean, their top couple of receivers. If you want to find a place on this team that is disappointing, it's really the pass catchers. None of these guys have taken a step forward. Shakir hasn't taken it. Dalton Kincaid, Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, James Cook has taken it as a running back, but maybe not as a receiver. Dawson Knox isn't having a big year. So, no, it's just for a team that I think is very good offensively, outside of Allen and Cook running the ball, they just haven't really found that consistent production really from anybody else in the offense. We'll see if that continues on Sunday against the Chiefs. Coming up on the other side, we'll be joined by Jeremy White of WGR in Buffalo. We'll get his thoughts as we get you ready for Sunday's game between the Chiefs and the Bills. That's all coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Ready for action, basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like Dark Mode 2. Log into BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company.
They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher, I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
There are some yearly traditions that we have in Kansas City. The Plaza Lights. Shout out to the KC Current. They were going to light the Plaza Lights. The Plaza Art Fair, the Big 12 Tournament. Another yearly tradition is Jeremy White coming on our show to preview Chiefs and Bills because they play each other every single year. Jeremy White, how you doing today, my man?
We're doing all right, Carrington. How are you?
Doing fantastic, man. Happy to have you on the show. Let's start with this. What has it been like to celebrate the final year in a building? That's something that I've never experienced before. Kauffman's been up my entire life. Arrowhead Stadium has been up my entire life. Now that's not going to be the case forever, but you guys are saying goodbye to a stadium. What's that been like this season?
It's been pretty cool. They've done some good stuff to commemorate that. The local media has done a bunch of stuff with it. The final game in the stadium, they're going to wear red helmets that they wore back in the 90s when they made 4 straight Super Bowls. So they're going to commemorate the stadium and the great teams. The thing about it that is, I don't want to say it takes away from it, is the new stadium is being built directly across the street. So it's kind of hard to not look at the new stadium when you're there, and you go every couple of weeks, or you go, if you're an out-of-towner, you go for the first time in a year, and you see the new stadium, and that kind of steals the show. So, all due respect to old Highmark, people cannot wait to get in the new one because it looks gorgeous.
So I would say 2 things that have been the center of conversation here in Kansas City from Chiefs fans. Number 1 has been the defense that the Bills have and a belief that Buffalo can't really stop Kansas City. The second thing has been the schedule. People in Kansas City don't really respect the teams that Buffalo have beaten so far. Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about the injuries. This defense doesn't feel as dangerous as ones they've had in the past.
I would agree with that. The only disclaimer is we kind of knew it would be 6 weeks before we had any idea what kind of defense they had. 2 of the first and biggest free agents they signed were Michael Hoyt and Larry Ogunjobi. They were both suspended for the first 6 games because of PEDs. Those are 2 big pieces on their defensive line. Then Maxwell Hairston, their first-round pick cornerback, he suffered a knee injury in training camp. He was out until last week. So right now that's 3 pieces that have been added in. And a lot of the belief is that those pieces, especially Hoyt and Hairston, are guys that allow the Bills to kind of change the way they play defense. Now, that said, they've got issues. I mean, Ed Oliver is out. He's been great when he's in. He's out. At safety, Taylor Rapp, he just was put on injured reserve last week. He is going to miss the rest of the season after a knee issue, but he was downright dreadful for them in the secondary, and safety was a big, big concern. Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano are both good to go for this game, but we've got big questions about them. They're just not playing the way they used to. So it's a defense that went through an overhaul, and only about half of the reinforcements that have supposed to come in have come in. But I tend to agree. If you think you can get this defense, I think you can too. There's a stat out there that they're good against the pass, but I think that's a lie. I think it's kind of only good against the pass because of teams having so much success against the run that they don't really need to pass. If Kansas City comes in and passes, I think we're about to find out the Bills' pass defense might be a problem too.
Right now, we're going through things with the Buffalo Bills with Jeremy White of WGR, friend of the show. Let's talk about the schedule. I bet Buffalo to be the 1 seed at the very beginning of the season at plus 250. A lot of it was because I think Buffalo's a good team. And also, man, their schedule was just tailor-made to be the 1 seed. Now, it's still not outside the realm of possibility, but what has discouraged me about this Bills team is they played the Patriots. They have a pulse. They lost. They played Atlanta. Atlanta is just one of those teams that just kind of stuck in the middle. They got really dominated for 60 minutes. I haven't really seen this Buffalo team tested and pass a test so far this season.
I'd agree with that. The Ravens game, they rallied to win. They got a little bit lucky along the way. They were down double digits in that game and getting blown out. And a Derrick Henry fumble, a deflected pass into the end zone, the Bills catch for a touchdown on a 4th down. They got a couple of breaks there. But the big story around here, even though they won last week 40-9 over Carolina, the big story is that the offense does not look right, especially the passing game. Sure, the Bills can run for 200, and if they face a team that can't stop the run, they can run all day and win the game that way. But in obvious passing situations, the Bills' offense is in trouble. Josh Allen is taking more sacks. His pressure-to-sack ratio has always been very good. He's getting hit a lot. He's getting sacked a lot, and teams are blitzing him more and more and more because there are no threats on the outside. Teams are not afraid of the Bills' weapons, and right now the quarterback is paying for it. He's also not without blame here. He's not played particularly well. Turned the ball over a couple of times, missed some open throws, missed some open reads. So right now, the number one thing Bills fans would probably like to see would be see the MVP quarterback look like an MVP because it's been a little while since that's happened.
So let's focus in on the passing game. You know the fans are always mad at somebody. One person has to get the ire of the blame. Is that at Keon Coleman? Is that at Dalton Kincaid, Khalil Shakir? Like, who's getting the criticism for the lack of passing game?
I'd say there's 3 people, not Kincaid or Shakir. Coleman is one, but a lot of Bills fans think that Coleman's been thrust into a spot that he's not qualified for. He really shouldn't be playing on the outside. A lot of people said that when they drafted him, which, of course, gets us to Brandon Beane, the GM, and Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator. Why are you trying to make this work out there if it's not going to work out there? And they can't bring him in the slot, really, where many people thought Keon Coleman would be a power slot because the Bills are flush in the slot with Shakir and often Dalton Kincaid. So the 3 are Coleman, yes, and Joe Brady because this passing game doesn't really even try to move the ball down the field. And, of course, Brandon Beane. It's been a talking point in Buffalo for many years, like 2 to 3 years, that this team has underfunded their receiver position for Josh Allen. Last year kind of gave them this belief that they could have this everybody eats mindset and you don't actually want a number one, that it's better to not have someone to identify. Some of us thought that was kind of bunk. And right now it's coming home to roost. Like, they don't have a lot at the receiver position, especially on the outside. With Josh Palmer out of this game, the outside receivers are Keon Coleman, who's been a very big disappointment because he can't separate and he runs like 2 routes, and Tyrell Shavers, who's a nice story, who made the roster out of training camp. But it's just really tough on the outsides. And for good defenses, they know what to do. They don't worry about getting beat on the outside, and they can blitz Josh Allen and cover the middle of the field.
Tomorrow, if Joe Brady took the LSU job, would Bills fans even care?
I think Bills fans would thank Joe Brady for the job he did. He did a great job the last year and a half. But, yeah, by the end of this year, it won't surprise me if he is somewhere else and the Bills are ready for a bit of a new look to this offense. The thing about the Bills and their fans, they're always taking the blame on how the offense looks to the head coach because they kind of believe that Sean McDermott wants a run-first approach and wants to be conservative. Whether that's true or not, that's a widely held belief around here. The thing about Brady taking a big job is, he's never been a head coach. He's been a coordinator in Carolina and LSU and here in Buffalo, and I just feel like, he's being mentioned for some of these big high-profile head coaching jobs. I just don't see it yet. He's young. He's had some success. I feel like a lesser program is something he might want to go for.
Right now, we're talking to Jeremy White with WGR in Buffalo, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. Jeremy, in Kansas City, I would say the fans are at a 0 out of 10 when it comes to worry in the division. Chiefs fans don't really believe in the Chargers. They don't really believe in the Broncos. They expect to win 10 straight divisions. What's the feeling in Buffalo right now, especially after losing the first game at home to the Patriots? Are Bills fans worried that they're not going to win the AFC East?
Yeah, I think for the first time in a while. A couple of years ago, the Bills had to chase down Miami 3 games behind with 3 games to play, and they chased them down and beat them. The difference is the Patriots don't really have any road bumps left. Atlanta this week, okay, if they get by Atlanta and the Bills lose to the Chiefs, it's going to be tough. The Bills will have to maybe run the table to get a chance to beat New England for the division. Their schedule is easy. I think there's respect for their head coach. There's definitely growing respect for their quarterback, Drake May. There's also a little bit of a, salt in the wound of Stephon Diggs being a big part of it. Diggs leaves, right? The relationship here broke up, and we could say what we want to say, but part of the selling point on Diggs leaving was, well, he's washed up. He can't play anymore. He came into Buffalo and had 100 yards in beating them. So that's kind of a little sensitive subject, too. Like, wait a minute, we don't have any receivers. The guy that left 2 years ago that you kind of said was washed up just beat you for the quarterback that's up and coming, that's the young Josh Allen. So there's definitely some tension around here. I think a lot of Bills fans think they will maybe track them down and get a chance to win it in New England. But if the Bills don't do their part of the job, then they won't have a chance.
I'll get you out of here with this last question, Jeremy. You know, we always appreciate your time. Give me your Bills win if scenario. Give me your Chiefs win if scenario for Sunday.
Boy, the Chiefs win scenario for me is easy if they play a clean game. I know last week they had 2 turnovers and like 100 yards and penalties and still won. I think the Chiefs are much more equipped to win this game. If the Bills can rush the passer well enough, get some turnovers, they overhauled their front to try and get after the passer. And Joey Bosa's here. Greg Rousseau is playing pretty well. Like, we'll see how that goes. Michael Hoyt adds that element. So if they can get to Patrick Mahomes quick enough and kind of collapse the pocket, I think they'll have a chance, maybe force some mistakes. I would say that, coupled with a conservative run game and a conservative dink-dunk passing game, I think the Bills can win a close game. I would say I think the Chiefs are more likely to win by a touchdown to 10 points to more. I usually think these games are coin tosses, and this one I don't. This one I think the Bills are underdogs with good reason, and I would think the Chiefs are going to win.
Jeremy, something tells me that you need to go ahead and set an alarm in your phone because I'm going to be on your show like January 19th. That feels like we got another date set for this thing.
You know, well, the winner of this game is probably going to host that game, right?
Well, I mean, we already know that game more than likely is going to be in Kansas City, and almost always is in Kansas City.
Well, I mean, if the Bills win this game, they're how many games ahead of Kansas City? They could still both win the division. Like, I do think that whoever loses this game has to really brace for the idea of going on the road in the playoffs, especially the Bills. So it's a big one for different reasons, right? It's been big for a lot of reasons, for one seed, for narrative. And this time, you know, whether you take the division opponent seriously or not, there's 2 divisions on the line. And it's also, I think, kind of interesting that Baltimore is having the same life right now, right? They're trying to get themselves off the mat and run to the top of the division as well. So maybe after all said and done, it's Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens that win the 3 divisions. And, you know, it was just a little more interesting along the way.
Absolutely. That is Jeremy White of WGR in Buffalo joining us on the show to get you ready for Chiefs and Bills. Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll talk about the Bills offense. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
This afternoon, expect sunny conditions with a high of 59.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel's your home for live betting. So even if you missed the start of the game or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to those fourth-quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to play, now's the perfect time to join because FanDuel's giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/Alex to sign up today. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under an agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Think Verizon, the best 5G network, is expensive? Think again. Bring in your AT&T or T-Mobile bill to a Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Now, what to do with your unwanted bills? Maybe turn them into paper airplanes headed to See Ya Never AT&T and T-Mobile. Jokes aside, the best 5G network has you covered with the most ways to save on plans, streaming, and phone deals. So bring in your bill to your local Verizon store today and we'll give you a better deal. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score report dated 1H 2025. Your results may vary. Must provide a postpaid consumer mobile bill dated within the past 45 days. Bill must be in the same name as the person redeeming the deal. Additional terms apply.
Find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Get ready, Chiefs Kingdom. We've got a powerhouse lineup of guests this season. Mitch Holtis, Dayton Hughes, and Josh Klingler bring you insight from the booth to the field on weekdays and game days. Insider scoops from Nate Taylor and Josh Briscoe keep you up to date all week long. Former linebacker Derek Johnson, and oh yeah, two-time MVP Patrick Mahomes. Don't miss a minute all season long right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
The Drive, weekdays starting at 2 on Kansas City's FM sports station. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
I want to go a little bit deeper into something that Jeremy White had to say. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan. Danny Parkins is going to be on the show here coming up in just a little bit. So here is what Jeremy White had to say about the passing attack right now for the Buffalo Bills, and it's been a little bit down by their standards.
The big story around here, even though they won last week 49 over Carolina, the big story is that the offense does not look right, especially the passing game. Sure, the Bills can run for 200, and if they face a team that can't stop the run, they can run all day and win the game that way. But in obvious passing situations, the Bills' offense is in trouble. Josh Allen is taking more sacks. His pressure-to-sack ratio has always been very good. He's getting hit a lot. He's getting sacked a lot, and teams are blitzing him more and more and more because there are no threats on the outside. Teams are not afraid of the Bills' weapons. And right now the quarterback is paying for it. He's also not without blame here. He's not played particularly well. Turned the ball over a couple of times, missed some open throws, missed some open reads. So right now, the number one thing Bills fans would probably like to see would be see the MVP quarterback look like an MVP because it's been a little while since that's happened.
As I've really started to deep dive into these two teams, I would say that one thing has been pretty apparent. And what has been apparent is the Chiefs have been able to kind of rebuild their offense on the fly to continue to keep things around Patrick Mahomes. Now, at times, I've been critical of Brett Veach. You know that. Sometimes that's just the job. But I have to acknowledge they have given Mahomes certainly enough when everybody is healthy. And they've hit on their draft picks when they've taken a chance. If you look at Buffalo spent a first-round pick on Dalton Kincaid. I don't think Dalton Kincaid has turned out to be the player that I thought he could be. I thought there was a chance that Dalton Kincaid could be a top 3 tight end in the National Football League. That's not what he's been so far. Dalton Kincaid's fine. He's not bad by any means. I'm not going to call him a bust, but if you're going to spend the 25th overall pick on a tight end, he needs to be in that Pro Bowl conversation. He needs to be a guy that pretty routinely you think could be a 1,000-yard player. That's not what he's been so far. Buffalo, as good as they are offensively, I don't care if Khalil Shakir is your number one wide receiver, you're just going to have some problems offensively. That's what the Chiefs have. That's kind of what was happening in the very beginning of the season. Hollywood and Juju can't be your number one and number two. Tyquan Thornton can't be your number one and number two. But now that you got Xavier Worthy back, now that you got Rashee Rice back, and now everybody falls into place and falls into their role, it just makes things so much easier for everybody else. Where you see one offense has really started to explode and is really finding its rhythm and its stride, and that's just not the case for the other one. So I would say that Buffalo has had a couple of different missteps. The first one is Dalton Kincaid. Again, I'm not saying he's a bust, but he hasn't been a tremendous knock it out of the park kind of player. You much rather have Xavier Worthy. You much rather have Rashee Rice than have Dalton Kincaid if you're talking about using that. And it's also Keon Coleman. I liked Keon Coleman a lot coming out of Florida State. Super athletic. He's averaging less than 10 yards a catch. That's not good for a guy who you basically spent the first-round pick on. He was a 33rd overall pick, and a guy who you were expecting to be a Plaxico Burress, big play, go-get-it kind of receiver, certainly in the red zone. He's averaging 9.9 yards per catch, and so far through the first 7 games, he has 250 yards and doesn't seem to have a position. So if you want to find out how Kansas City has been able to kind of reinvent itself and how Buffalo feels like it's a little bit stalled offensively, you don't got to really look a lot further than the draft. Buffalo hasn't hit on when they've tried to go find that guy to pair with their quarterback. They haven't really found it in the passing game. They found it in the run game with Cook. They paid him, and it's certainly paying dividends. They haven't found that receiver where the Chiefs have. The Chiefs found it with Rashee Rice. They found it with Xavier Worthy. And having that as the foundation, you then were able to build around it. And, oh, yeah, you had Travis Kelce also in place. You would take Kansas City's first, second, and third pass-catching option before you would take anybody on Buffalo. That's the difference in the quarterback production so far between these two teams.
I think it's fair to ask, after hearing what Jeremy White had to say, if Buffalo has the firepower to keep up with Kansas City. Because the names on the piece of paper, the names on the computer box, you pull up their depth chart, you go to RLads, ESPN, whatever your site is, the names you feel like, oh, the Bills have the offense. James Cook is that guy. Khalil Shakir, you think, is that guy. You were a person who was a believer in the draft, Keon Coleman. I was too. I'm not throwing under the bus there. Kincaid, Knox, those are good tight ends. They have the second best quarterback in the NFL. Like, oh, they have the weaponry to really keep up. I think it's fair to ask, if this game gets in the 20s and 30s, can the Bills keep up? Because it does not feel like, based on what Jeremy White said, the Bills can keep up in a high-scoring affair. Like, last year's AFC Championship game ended 32-29. If the Chiefs get to 32 on Sunday, what are the Bills at? Because I don't think they're getting to 29. And that's not just the Chiefs' defense and a testament to their success. It doesn't sound like the Bills have the oomph to get to 29 on their own.
I'm 100% with you. I want to make one more point here, too, kind of in line with what we were talking about. So we just discussed the draft, right? Another thing has also been free agency. You know the Bills paid Josh Palmer? They paid Josh Palmer 3 years, $29 million, $18 million guaranteed. The Chiefs gave Hollywood Brown $6.5 million guaranteed. So they didn't really pay him any money. And then if you look at the contract that they gave Juju Smith-Schuster, we're talking about almost the exact same thing. I mean, really no guaranteed kind of money. So Buffalo went out there, tried to swing big to go get Joshua Palmer. They gave him $18 million. Between Juju and Hollywood, they gave them less than $8 million between the two of them in guaranteed money. So some of it has been the draft for sure. Some of it has been Kansas City has been a little bit smarter and better in free agency, and we're not even counting them finding Tyquan Thornton, which anybody in the league could have got. It's like finding a 20 in your pocket before you do laundry. So we're talking about 3 receivers who have all been very productive for Kansas City that they got less than $10 million guaranteed into, and which Joshua Palmer, Buffalo has $18 million guaranteed into, and he hasn't scored a touchdown so far this season, has 200 yards receiving. Like, you can't miss in the draft and miss in free agency. You got to pick one of the two. If you're going to miss in free agency, that's okay. Well, then you got to hit with Dalton Kincaid. You got to hit with Keon Coleman. But right now, they've been very across the board.
The text line, the top text says it absolutely perfectly. The Chiefs and Bills are in very similar salary cap situations. They are up against the number right now. That is the situation for both of them. But the Chiefs feel like they're getting the most out of the players they're paying, whether that be the Hollywood Brown $6 million or the Patrick Mahomes mega contract. The Bills are up against the cap, and is any player on their team living up to their contract? Like, we just heard Jeremy White say Josh Allen's not playing like the MVP this year. So you would say he's not living up to his contract. Maybe James Cook is the only guy, but if we were to pull the biggest contracts in the Buffalo Bills, I bet you would say underachieving. Meanwhile, the Chiefs playing to their contract. You might even find some guys that are playing above and beyond. Like you mentioned, Juju. Juju's playing better than his contract indicate. Like, the Bills and Chiefs are in a similar situation, yet feel light years apart in the same time.
I mean, Juju is making no money. Juju is on a 1-year, $1.4 million deal with a $150,000 signing bonus. I mean, that's a fantastic contract from what you get from Juju Smith-Schuster. In the locker room, what he helps you in run, whatever you get from him is in the passing game is a bonus. You're not paying him any money to step in and be able to help you. Another thing I think from a salary cap perspective that has hurt Buffalo in their pursuit of trying to catch up with Kansas City, they've had to chase on some defensive contracts that you kind of have to if you're the challenger and not the champion. Kansas City has never been a position where you felt like you needed to go get a Von Miller type to get you over the hump.
Frank Clark. I would apologize for interrupting. Frank Clark was that guy a little bit.
Frank Clark was also 27 when they paid him and not 32 years old when they paid him. That's a big difference. You remember Frank Clark was on his second contract. He got franchise tagged and then they got him. It ain't like we talking about Buffalo. Buffalo didn't get a 28-year-old Von Miller. That's a different conversation. It's not what Tyrann Mathieu was. I would say they did the exact same thing with Bosa, too. They signed a 30-year-old Joey Bosa. A 30-year-old Bosa who was drafted in the top 10 a decade ago. He has 2 sacks so far this season. You gave him $15 million guaranteed. That's what I mean. These are the kind of moves you got to make when you're the challenger. When you got 3 championships, you can be a little bit more selective and you're not pressing for anything. Buffalo has clearly been pressed. They do one of these kind of moves on defense that they think is going to be the missing piece. They do this once every 2, once every 3 years, and neither one of those deals have worked out for them so far. Coming up on the other side, we're going to head to the phone lines and be joined by friend of the show, Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1. And first things first, that's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, I want to tell you guys about my friends over at The Other Place. Kansas City has a big game this weekend, and I know you're going to be looking for a place to watch it. Well, stop by and go see our friends at The Other Place. They got a 14-inch two-topping pizza for $12. They got an $8 wing basket, and you can also get some tots for $12. A $4 domestic OP cup. If you want to go do something after work, go celebrate Red Friday with $6 select appetizers and a Busch Light Tall Boy. You know our guy, Rob. He loves a Busch Light Tall Boy. So on Sunday, if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind game day experience, a game day atmosphere that rivals being at the game and some of the best pizza in town, go stop by and see our friends at The Other Place.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching.
Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And
McDonald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEB-NOW-1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law. We've got a crash up north, and it is 29 northbound Tiffany Springs. That's the exit. 2 left lanes are blocked. Overland Park, that's a stall. 35 southbound as you approach 435 off to the right shoulder. Onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. 100% of the country will have access to Sunday's game, one of the more anticipated, one of the most important games of the National Football regular season. Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by TV star, podcast star, overall swell guy, Danny Parkins, but that's not what he goes by on this show. Park, what's good?
Good afternoon, C-Dot. I know you wanted to talk Chiefs-Bills, but I miss our annual Halloween candy draft. How are you, my friend? Happy Halloween.
I'm doing fantastic. Now when I think of you, I think of Halloween, and I think of, man, I was so excited to interview for that job in Chicago. And then this is the thing. I prepped for the Chicago Bears. I'm telling you, I read about the Bears for 2 weeks, and then an hour before I go on with you, Tony La Russa gets hired as the manager for the Chicago White Sox, and nobody in Chicago liked me for 24 hours.
Yeah, that was a tough debut for you. You were like, I don't know, La Russa seems like a pretty good hire, and like you were like totally reasonable based on all of his accomplishments. And Chicago was like, they're just doing it because he's Jerry Reinsdorf's friend. He's old. Let's not do this. And yeah, that's not why you didn't get the job.
Jim Nantz said that both Mahomes and Allen need each other. Nick disagreed. I was somewhere in the middle. I think the NFL needs this storyline because it's a very easy storyline to buy into. One team wins all the time. There is another good team that hasn't won yet. So every year it's the storyline of when Josh Allen is going to break through. Where I agree with Nick is, I do feel for a 5-6 year stretch, we kept trying to find who that adversary was going to be for Patrick Mahomes. At one point, it was Deshaun Watson. It was Joe Burrow. It was Lamar Jackson. Now we've kind of settled in on Josh Allen, when the truth is Patrick Mahomes is chasing Tom Brady. He is chasing Joe Montana. That's his contemporaries at this point. It's not anybody in the National Football League. So I kind of fall somewhere in the middle. Where are you at on that topic?
So Josh Allen is the second best player in football. Mahomes is the best. Allen has beaten Mahomes in the regular season. Mahomes has beaten Allen in the playoffs. But it is the ultimate team game where Nick and I agree that, like, he agrees with me that Allen is the second best player in football. Where we disagree, I think, is on, like, the gap in the talent. The Bills traded the Chiefs the 10th overall pick in the 2017 draft, where the Chiefs drafted Mahomes. My argument is if the Bills would have kept that pick and the Chiefs would have drafted Mahomes, and Allen would have had the year behind Alex Smith, and he would have had Andy Reid, and he would have had Tyreek Hill, and he would have had Travis Kelce, and he would have had, Schwartz and that offensive line and the whole thing, Josh Allen would be a Super Bowl champion today. And Patrick Mahomes would be largely in the situation that Josh Allen is in today. Like, that they are close enough as talents. Now, maybe the Chiefs have one less, and maybe Buffalo has broken through and has one. But I do not believe that the gap between the individual of Patrick Mahomes and the individual of Josh Allen is so huge that it's ridiculous to say that those two are rivals. Now, is Mahomes the winner of the rivalry? Of course. Is it truly Manning v. Brady because Brady had the team accomplishments and Manning had the individual statistics? Like, no, it's not a perfect corollary. But when we're talking about the best against the second best, and by my eye test, my scout test, or whatever, the second best is not that much worse than the first guy, I think it's totally reasonable to say that they're rivals.
This is where I think there has been proven to be a decent-sized gap between these two. I've seen Mahomes in a lot of those ideal quarterback situations, those textbook, your team is down 4, you got to go down the field, you got to score a touchdown, it is on you to lead a drive. And I've seen Mahomes have success in those scenarios. The last 2 seasons, Buffalo had a chance to knock off Kansas City. 2 years ago, they settled for a field goal, and Tyler Bass missed a 47-yard field goal. The next year, Buffalo got the ball at the 30-yard line. They didn't get to midfield in that scenario, turnover on downs, and then Kansas City wins the game. I'm with you. I think if we are judging regular season accomplishments, I don't think there's a large gap between these two. But if we're talking bottom of the ninth, 10 seconds left in the game, we're talking a 2-minute drive, you got to go down the field. I've seen Mahomes do that time after time, where I haven't seen Josh Allen do that yet, and that's the difference in these two.
Well, did he do it in the 13-second game?
And then Mahomes did it better than him, which sometimes in life people are just better than you. Patrick Ewing's an incredible player. Reggie Miller's an incredible player. Michael Jordan was just better than they were. That's life.
Right, but that's the thing. When people keep saying, when you do bottom of the ninth or you do basketball, this isn't baseball or basketball. This is football. Like, Josh Allen literally did it, and he left 13 seconds on the clock. And then Mahomes did it, But Mahomes needed Butker to make a kick, and then he needed to win a coin toss, like things that he didn't have anything to do with. And then they went and they did it in overtime, to his credit. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Mahomes. Mahomes is, I'm with you. He's the most talented guy I've ever seen. He is chasing Brady. I'm not saying that, I'm not taking anything away from him. I am merely saying that Josh Allen absolutely, to me, has proven that he can do it, but he doesn't have Andy Reid. He doesn't have Chris Jones. He doesn't have the things that Mahomes has had that have been better on the Chiefs side than the Bills side. And if we go back to from 2020 to today, Mahomes is first in the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, regular season wins, and playoff wins. Josh Allen is third in passing yards. Justin Herbert just passed him for second like 2 weeks ago. He is second in passing touchdowns, second in regular season wins, and second in playoff wins. So if the guy is second to Mahomes in everything in a 5.5-year sample, I just can't say that the gap is that big because of a drive in a playoff game last year. Like, was it a big drive? Of course. But there's no part of me that believes that Josh Allen, who's had 24 touchdowns and 5 turnovers in his 10 career games against Kansas City, who's averaging over 300 yards from scrimmage against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, there's no part of me that believes that Josh Allen is not good enough to beat the Chiefs in the regular season or the playoffs.
Right now, we're talking to Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1. You can catch him on First Things First coming up later today. Danny, if I had a crystal ball, then I'd tell you that one of these teams lose their division, that either Denver, New England, the Chargers, whomever you think it's going to be, that those teams are going to represent the AFC West or East and not Kansas City or Buffalo. Which team do you think it would be? Which team is more likely to lose their division? Is it Kansas City or Buffalo?
Kansas City. Just because there's 2 teams in front of them. Like, again, I think the Chiefs are going to win their division. Like, to be very clear, I didn't leave Kansas City and become a Chiefs hater. Like, I root for the Chiefs if it's not the Bears. I marvel at what Mahomes and Reid do. I'm close to with people in the organization, my wife's family. Like, it's not that, but just the math of it says if the Chiefs lose this game to Buffalo and fall to 5-4, and they're in third place. Denver's got Houston, 50-50 shot of being 7-2. The Chargers have the Titans, like a 70-30 shot, if not more, probably more, actually, 80-20, of them being 6-3. So the Chiefs would be a game back of the Chargers in the loss column, 2 games back of the Broncos, but really 2 games back of the Chargers because they already lost the game head-to-head. So I just think because of the hole they dug, and there's 2 other good teams in the AFC West, and there's only 1 other good team in the AFC East, that just the math says that the Chiefs are more likely to not win their division. But again, to be clear, I think both the Chiefs and the Bills will win their division.
Right now, we're talking to Danny Parkins, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. One criticism that a lot of people here locally have had about Buffalo is, if you look at their schedule, it's a little soft. Now, they beat the Ravens in week 1. I think they get credit for beating the Ravens. The Ravens were not hurt at that time. Sure, we got different information as the season progressed, but that's a good win in week 1 for Buffalo. Since then, any team that they've played with the pulse, they lost. They lost to the Patriots at home. They went on the road against the Falcons and really just got dominated. The Falcons controlled that game for all 60 minutes of it. Do you have questions about Buffalo maybe and their ability to stand up against those teams? This team, this Buffalo team, they don't seem as dominant as some of the teams that we've seen in years past, where I got to see them proven in 2025 that they're in that same caliber that we've seen them over the last handful of years.
I agree completely. I think that is totally fair. I think that's more fair on the defensive side of the ball. Like, I think Josh Allen is a proven commodity, and I think their offensive line is excellent, and James Cook leads the NFL in rushing. So I do not think that there's much question for me about the Bills' offense. The Bills' defense, I think, is 9th right now in scoring, but to your point, they've played a bunch of tomato cans, and their rush defense is the worst it's been under Sean McDermott by more than 20 yards per game, and their pass defense, statistically, is okay, but when they played Drake May, they got carved up, and when they played Lamar Jackson, they got carved up. And there's the Ed Oliver injury, and there's some issues there with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. So The Chiefs should move the ball. The Chiefs should put it in the end zone. The Chiefs have scored 28 points in 5 straight games at this point, including the loss to Jacksonville. So yeah, I definitely think there are questions about how good this Buffalo team is on the defensive side of the ball. I do not think there are legitimate questions about how good Josh Allen or their offense is.
Normally, I feel like these two teams are pretty even, but my take this week has been this. In week 2, I picked the Philadelphia Eagles. And people are like, why? Why are you picking the Eagles? Well, because the Eagles were just better than Kansas City. We saw that in the Super Bowl. There was no reason to think otherwise. I kind of feel the same way, but in reverse, at least for this one. I think right now Kansas City is better than Buffalo. I like their quarterback more with how he's playing. I think Mahomes is playing as well as any quarterback in the league. This is as well as Mahomes has played in maybe 3 seasons. I think Kansas City's offense is more complete this year than they've been in years past. I like Kansas City's offense. You just mentioned the defense. No question to me who has the better defense in this. I would take the Chiefs coaching staff over I would take the Bills. I just think that the Chiefs are a better version of the Bills, and I'm guessing on Sunday we see that play itself out.
Yeah, I think that's all totally fair. Listen, the Bills were my Super Bowl pick before the year, and Josh Allen was my MVP pick on TV. But it's not who you play, but when you play them. Right now, there's really no argument to be made that the Bills are better than the Chiefs. Now, they play them tough all the time. They play them tough in the regular season. It's in Buffalo. It's maybe the last time the Chiefs go. Obviously we don't know how the playoffs are going to shake out, but could be the last time the Chiefs go to this stadium. It's going to be a raucous home crowd environment for Buffalo. So this game can go either way. But based on the 2025 data that we have on these two teams, clearly the Chiefs have put together a more impressive resume than Buffalo.
Have you ever been to Buffalo before? Have you been to one of those games? I know you went to Q, so it seems like at some point you made the trip to Buffalo.
It's an embarrassment. I didn't. I did not. I've been to Buffalo. I've been to Buffalo a number of times. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Niagara Falls. I've been to the Anchor Bar to have the home of the Buffalo Wing. But I actually never went to a Bills game, which is a terrible job by me.
2 questions, and I'll get you out of here. First question is, to me, this is the biggest question in the National Football League. Are you a believer in the Indianapolis Colts? Not that they're just going to make the playoffs. Do you think we're looking at a true Super Bowl contending team?
It's a little early to say true Super Bowl contending team, but I don't think this is last year's Vikings. I think they're better than last year's Vikings. I think that what they do is just going to be tough for any team. They have an offensive line that's playing better than any unit in football. They can run the ball. They don't turn it over. That is a very, very difficult thing to do. Pierce, Pittman, Warren, Taylor, that offensive line, no turnovers. It's a really tough offense to defend. And listen, I picked them to win the AFC South on the show before the year, and Nick picked them to be the worst team in the NFL. And I was like, man, the last 2 years they've won 8 and 9 games with Gardner Minshew and Anthony Richardson. Shane Steichen's a good coach. He is a good offensive coach. So I am a believer in Indianapolis as they're really good. I've got to see them play a couple of better teams before I'm willing to say full-blown Super Bowl contender. But I don't think that there's some sort of fluke regular season darling that's going to be, awful in the playoffs.
I'll ask you that same question about the Denver Broncos. The Broncos have been very, very competitive. They've probably won some games they should have lost. They probably lost some games that they should have won. Where do you stand with the Denver Broncos?
Broncos fans are very angry with me. They're chirping in my comments and my mentions that I don't have them in my top 10. I feel Bo Nix overthrows guys that are open, but then he scores touchdowns, and those are valuable. And they're a very talented defense, but that they also allow 30 points to the Giants and Jackson Dart. They're a confusing team to figure out. So I will be honest, I don't really believe in them, but I know that Broncos fans really believe in them. And I know it's oh, well, of course, hometown bias. It seems like Denver fans are carrying it like they know something about their team that the rest of us don't know. And that just is like, I am willing to listen and I'm willing to be wrong. But as of this moment in time, I do not believe in the Denver Broncos.
There's this line in the movie American Gangster where they talk about brand names, and I think that this rivalry between the Chiefs and the Bills has just kind of built up a brand name. Like, you as a neutral party, you just as somebody that covers the NFL, loves the NFL, big fan of it, you know exactly what to expect with this game. This is going to be a game that in the last 5 minutes is going to come down to one play. It's going to be tightly contested. The crowd is going to be into it, and it's going to come down to a great play from either one of these quarterbacks. This might be the last time that we see it in this venue, so you know Bills fans are going to be extra jacked up about it. We got the CBS Nance and Romo crew there. This game is really important, not just in the respective divisions, but also in the race for who can be the one seed in the AFC. It's just kind of hard to drum up a much more important regular season game, especially in the middle part of the season, than what we have coming up Sunday.
Listen, man, I agree with you. Like, sometimes I get frustrated if like everything turns into like NBA analysis and Mahomes and Allen and legacy talk and, well, they got to prove that they can beat him in January. It's like, well, this isn't January. Like it's October. So can we talk about the game that's happening? Or I guess the game will be in November. Like, can we talk about the game that's going to happen in early November, or do we have to make everything about January? It's like, that's something that I push back on all the time. But like, the loser of this game has a legitimate chance of losing their division and being the 5 seed. And let's say Baltimore goes on a run and wins the AFC North. Would you love it if it was Chiefs at Ravens wild card weekend? That's a tough path. Like, that's a tough path to a Super Bowl. So, yeah, this is a massive, massive game.
That is our dear friend Danny Parkins with Fox Sports 1. You can catch him on First Things First. Every time I refresh my podcast page, he's on somebody's podcast. Danny, I'm just waiting for you to, like, go on Rewatchables or something like that where you can, like, review some old Tom Hanks movie. That's when I know you've really made it.
Oh, God, I would love, dude. I would love, like, that's like, we've never talked about it. I would love it. Like, I want to do a bad movie on the Rewatchables. Like, obviously, I would love to do a classic comedy, like a Blues Brothers or something like that. Would be amazing. But like, let me in there for Con Air. Like, let me in there for Gone in 60 Seconds. Let me in there for Armageddon. Like, some sort of like bad 90s, early 2000s action movie on the Rewatchables. Like, that's where I think I could really shine.
Park, we appreciate you.
Get some Almond Joys, Carrington. Get some Swedish Fish and some Sour Patch Kids and some Reese's Pieces. See you, buddy.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's a man after my own heart, man. Shout out to my brother. Shout out to one of my best friends, Danny Parkins of FS1 and First Things First. Let me remind you guys that today is a FanDuel Friday on the Drive. It is presented by FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL and also us here at 96.5 The Fan. I think there are 5 marquee games coming up this Sunday. One of those games we've been talking a lot about. We don't need to talk about it. We'll get back to it here in a little bit. Chiefs and Bills. In fact, I will tell you guys at least what I am doing. I am going to bump the Chiefs up to 3.5 and get plus money for this. I just think the Chiefs are better than Buffalo. Give me the better coaching staff, the better offense, the better defense. I'm taking the Chiefs minus 3.5. You can currently get that at plus 142. You know they always got a boost over there on FanDuel. So turn that 142 into like plus 210. Get 2-1 odds on the Chiefs to win the game by at least 4 points. Can't beat it. That's just my suggestion. There's 4 other games that I would kind of rope into this, and I'm calling it like the Fantastic Five, the Fab Five. Niners, Giants, Colts, Steelers, Broncos, Texans, Seahawks, Commanders. Now, Seahawks, Commanders doesn't sound like it's a big game, but Jaden Daniels is back, and Seattle is one of those teams in the NFC, so certainly a worthwhile game. You still got a team going from the West Coast to the East Coast. Jaden Daniels is back. I think that's got a chance to be one of the better games of the day. So let's go to Niners and Giants. The Niners going from West to East Coast. It's early in the morning. San Francisco is a 2.5-point favorite in that one. Rob, do you think that the Niners are potentially walking into a little bit of a danger zone?
So, yes, I do think they're walking a little danger zone. However, they walked into the same danger zone last week. On our circa picks, our 5 we do around the station here, me, Gold, and some others, we were all thinking, oh man, the Niners are a dog at the Texans. This is free money. And the Texans beat them and covered. That was the game where you felt like, oh, something's up, something's hinky. So I think they're walking into a trap, but I think they'll be more alert to the trap because they kind of fell into the trap last weekend in Houston.
This feels like a really big spot for the Indianapolis Colts. There's certainly a lot of questions about them. Now, I don't think that going on the road and beating the Steelers now has people ready to put the Colts into the Super Bowl. But, I mean, they're 7-1 right now. They go on the road and play the Pittsburgh Steelers. This certainly feels like a little bit of a dangerous spot, I think, for Indianapolis. If you're Pittsburgh, I mean, you got to be aware of what's happening. It feels like the Ravens have now woken up, and it's going to be a fight the rest of the way. A lot of people felt that way about the AFC North. I kind of like the Steelers in this one. Maybe I'm just slow to kind of buy into the Indianapolis Colts. On the road, tough defense, back potentially up against the wall for the Steelers. Early November, late October, fall weather. Give me the Steelers at home. I'm going to take them on the money line. I'm going to take them at plus money.
See, I feel like the Steelers a lot of fool me once, shame on you type of energy. I've felt like they're eventually going to start looking like one of those type of teams that we think, oh, they're a threat in the AFC, and they keep letting me down. I actually think the Colts are the play here because they're going to assert, hey, we're actually that team in the AFC. Like, people like you and me and Parkins and Nick and everyone is talking about them like there's some cute story, but eventually will end. I think the Steelers, who are kind of mediocre, are going to get beat by the Colts. They're about to make a statement on Sunday against decrepit Aaron Rodgers.
We got the Broncos and Texans. We also have the Seahawks and the Commanders. Between the Broncos and the Seahawks, which one do you think is more likely to get sniped on Sunday?
Denver. I think Houston's turning a corner. I think Houston is starting to look like the Houston we thought. They're one of the best defense, and not the best defense in the NFL. That defense is special. And if C.J. Stroud doesn't throw the ball to the other team, they can win football games. D'Amico Ryan's a good coach. So I think Denver is a little bit of a spot here. I think they get sniped on Sunday.
Coming up on the other side, we are going to play a very special Halloween game. We're going to play a game called Classic or Trash. I'll explain the rules. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, a show that prides itself on getting it right.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5, The Fan.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything, from who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet expires 7 days on street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Hey, Kansas City. This is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect. Our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret, it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Another summer is ended, And you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time. Maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. And if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Heartland Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Natural disasters happen every year. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes. And with that, your most important moments recorded on VHS, camcorder tapes, and 8mm could all be gone in an instant. Cherished moments like your wedding, baby's first steps, family trips to Yellowstone, lost. Enter Legacy Box. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box protects your irreplaceable memories from the threat of natural disaster by digitally preserving them onto thumb drive, DVD, or the cloud, so they're safe forever. Legacy Box is the safest and easiest way to preserve your past, which is why it's been trusted by over 1 million families. Send Legacy Box your home movies, photos, and film. Their team of trained professionals will do the rest right here in the U.S. For a limited time, Legacy Box is offering radio listeners an incredible 50% off. Go to legacybox.com/value and save 50% when you digitize your memories. That's legacybox.com/value.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing Technicians you can trust with your house keys. We've got the crash 29 northbound ramp to Tiffany Springs. Big delays in that area. It is in the clearing stages. 35 southbound at 435. It's the right lane blocked by a two-car crash there. Turn recent repairs into savings. Get up to $4,500 off a new HVAC system. Stay comfortable year-round. Schedule now at anthonyphce.com. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we'll get back to very serious Chiefs and Bills things. But today is Halloween. We got to pay respects to the holiday. I am dressed up today. If you guys are watching the stream of this, I was going to be Will Smith from Men in Black. That's who I wanted to be on the TV earlier today on Fox 4. But they told me I had to dress up like a Chiefs fan. So I just put on clothes that I would imagine someone would wear if they were going to the Chiefs game. So that's why I'm dressed like this. If you're wondering, who's Carrington? Well, I'm you. That's what I am. I am a Chiefs fan for Halloween. All right, we will talk about the Chiefs coming up in a little bit. I promise you, Nate Taylor will be in studio. There's a lot of things to talk about. But, I mean, we got to talk a little Halloween. We're going to play a game called Classic or Trash. I am going to give you the name of a polarizing Halloween treat, and you're going to have two categories to put it in. Is this a classic candy or is it trash? Rob, hit the music. First up, Tootsie Rolls, classic or trash?
Coming out the gate with a tough one. I am going to lean classic. It is not the best chocolate candy, but it is not the worst. You probably are when you empty your Halloween bags later tonight if you're a kiddo. You're not racing to eat the Tootsie Roll, but you're not donating it away or trying to trade it away at school. You'll eventually eat it just toward the end of your time with said candy. So it's a lean, but I'm leaning toward classic.
Can you turn the music down just for a little bit? Tootsie Rolls are quite possibly the worst candy that God ever created. He has made a lot of beautiful things. Tootsie Roll is on the exact opposite ends of the spectrum. They are big trash, big deaf and ball, big waste management, awful. Please do not feed these to your children. I wouldn't feed these to my worst enemy. I wouldn't wish Tootsie Rolls on them. Awful. What are they? Are they chocolate? Is it licorice? I don't even know what it is. All I know is I'm not eating one. No, trash, big trash. Let's move on. Next one, Weathers Original.
Oh, this is hot trash.
Classic or trash?
Hot trash. This is bank candy. This is in your grandma's little dish candy. This is something where if you are trick-or-treating, which is the criteria I am using for this game, if you're dumping your bag out the end of the evening and you see a Werther's Original, you are not keeping it. You are not eating it. You are not excited about it. No child on earth like, ooh, I got a Werther's. This is trash. Don't say it's classic. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Classic.
Oh.
I mean, Turner Classic Movies.
Oh.
That's what these are. Turner Classic Movies. You know what I used to love? Maybe your grandma did this. You go over there, and grandma was always happy to see you. Hey, baby, how you doing? She give you a hug. She pinch your cheek a little bit. She had that candy dish right by the front door. Stayed stocked. And you know what it stayed stocked with? A Werther's Original. Love them. A+, 2 thumbs up. Love them. Absolutely. Great. Fantastic. I get it. Oh, I love it. Keeping it moving. One I know that you and I can bond over. I only put this on there so you and I could bond. Dots. Rob,
okay.
Go ahead and tell them about Dots.
Okay.
Tell them.
Dots is 100% classic. Dots is an elite candy. That little mini box that has like 6 or 8 of them in there. Oh, it's incredible. The boss used to keep them in her office, a little box of them. Me and you emptied her out. It was absolutely 1000% a classic Halloween candy. I won't listen to text line slander Dots. They're incredible.
Now, this is the thing about Dots. I'm going to go classic. But only in the little baby box. Getting a big box of Dots, nuts. Like tomorrow, if you and I were going to see a movie, like we're going to go see Black Phone 2. And then I'm like, hey, can you get me some movie candy? If you got me the big box of Dots, I'm assuming that you don't want me to have teeth. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm assuming. Like, you want my teeth to come out. Come on now. No, so I love Dots. Don't get me wrong. I do. I really do. But just a little baby box. You know what I'm talking about. I got about 3 or 4 in there. Give me 2 baby boxes of Dots. That's all I need. All right. Classic or trash? Sweet Tarts.
Okay. So I think we're going to stay on the same page here. Classic. I love a nice sweet tart. Sweet tarts are good. Now,
trash is what they are.
No,
that's what they are.
No,
trash.
Sweet tarts are good.
These are the Dylan Gabriel of candies.
Don't
that's
do this.
What they are. They're trash.
You're talking about Smarties. Smarties are trash. Sweet tarts.
Smarties are the Shedeur Sanders.
Sweet tarts are good.
Candy.
If you went to the movies and you got me a box of sweet tarts, I would say thank you. What an excellent purchase for me. Sweet tarts are good.
Yeah, no, sweet tarts. 2 thumbs down. I wish I had more hands to give them. Boom, down. Somebody said, what about Good and Plenty? You've been blocked, all right? Come on now. Let's not be disrespectful. All right, we having a little bit of fun here. Now you got to throw Good and Plenty into the mix. Good and terrible. Terrible. Awful. Come on now. Be better. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be better. Rob, Butterfingers. Classic or trash?
I feel like this whole segment is just us not being on the same page because these are trash.
Oh, big trash. Super trash.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, super trash.
Big trash.
Come on now.
You mentioned your teeth with dots. Butterfinger will be in your teeth for months. No matter how many times you brush, floss, the whole deal. Butterfinger, big trash.
Oh my goodness. That's super trash energy. I can't. Big trash energy. All right. Nerds. Not Nerds gummies. I'm talking about the OG in the little baby box. You know what I'm talking about. Nerds. You going Nerds classic or trash?
Nerds are tough because I like the flavor, but they are a pain in the ass to eat. Like, I'm gonna either get my hand in there and eat them one by one like Pebbles, or like, shoot them like a shot. I'm gonna lean trash because of the inconvenient way they are required to be eaten. So I'm gonna lean trash. But it's not about flavor, it's about problematic way to eat them.
Trash. Big trash. Come on now. These are terrible, is what they are. Terrible. You can turn the music down. I want to spend a little bit of time before we get back to football, and I know why you're here. You know a candy that doesn't get nearly enough credit? Sour Patch Straws. You know what I'm talking about. They come in all kinds of colors and flavors. They got the green ones, the blue ones, the red ones, the little Sour Patch Straws. Oh, my goodness. Timeless is what they are. I'm not saying they're the Mahomes or Brady. They're the Drew Brees, though. Hall of Famer, accurate. Everybody loves them. Sour Patch Straws. They don't get nearly enough credit at this time of the year. I don't know why. I love them. I love them when they come in that little one individual bag. You know what I'm talking about? Like the one little half one. Oh my goodness. Every time. They don't get nearly enough credit. So they're going to get credit today on this show. Classic is what they're going to get. I'm sitting here and I'm seeing people defend Butterfingers. Like, you're sick. That's what you are. You're defending Butterfingers? Terrible. Terrible decisions. Terrible life choices. Coming up on the other side, we're going to be joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. We got so much Chiefs and Bills to preview. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with CDOT. Tune in as Nate Taylor of ESPN joins the show in studio every Friday at 4 on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Renter Garage Door. Blue Springs, a crash, 70 westbound, the on-ramp from 291 Highway southbound. Be prepared to tap your brakes. Kansas side of things, crash and debris. K10 westbound at Cedar Creek Parkway. Left lane is blocked there. Renter Garage Doors proudly served KC for nearly 70 years, offering the latest style, smart technology, trusted family-owned reliability. Get your free estimate today, renterdoor.com, RENNER, forward and back. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
Let's qualify for enrollment. Results vary. Consult with your tax professional prior to enrollment.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renter Garage Door. RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renter Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renter. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
Things are getting spooky in South Kansas City, but the deals at Lopside Ford, they're scary good.
Rob Seid is with me. Hey, Rob, what's haunting the lot this month?
No tricks, just treats. From Broncos to Explorers to F-150s and commercial vehicles, we've got the inventory, the selection, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
And no creepy sales tactics, just non-commissioned staff and real value.
Exactly. And while we're on the scary stuff, Kevin, your brisket from last weekend still haunts me.
Okay, dry rub shouldn't actually mean dry.
But here's the real flavor. KC's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, Rob Seid Ford is the treat you've been looking for. Visit 135th and State Line and buy right with Rob Seid.
Rob Seid Ford, ROBSIGHT.com. And Kevin, leave the cooking to us this Halloween.
Ready for action, basketball fans? BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, is giving players another reason to hit the court this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to every basket, every slam dunk, and every buzzer-beating shot with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and same-game parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like Dark Mode 2. Log into BetMGM, an authorized gaming partner of the NBA, all throughout the basketball season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, Zach. Are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Wildcat fans, this is Wyatt Thompson. Tune in all season long to the play-by-play of the 2025 football season, right here on your home for K-State Athletics, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. 4 o'clock on Friday can only mean one thing. From St. Joe to Sao Paulo to Santa Clara, he's there every step of the way. And nobody knows the Chiefs like Nate Taylor.
They will move Joe Tooney to left tackle.
Now of ESPN, join CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Right now, there's a mutiny on the text line with our candy choices. We might play classic or trash with Nate Taylor at some point. Nate Taylor is here. You're fired up. Nate, normally you'd have been here like 2 minutes later, but now Chiefs and Bills, you're ready to go. That's what I like. I like that energy.
I don't have to talk about the Commanders anymore. Great. Perfect.
That's what you walked in here 3:59 ready to go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. I had to see the costume too, because kids, ladies and gentlemen, this man is ready to go to Arrowhead.
I'm telling you,
but they don't play at home this weekend.
I'm just telling you when I was on Fox today, they said dress up like a Chiefs fan And so this is when I woke up, and I was like, "This is what I think a Chiefs fan will wear." So
this is a requirement. You had to show up as a.
That's what I put on today.
I think Men in Black would have gone better, but
That's what I wanted to be.
Hey, what can I say? You know,
I was even looking at little fake noisy crickets and the little brain neuralizer. I was ready, and they told me no, I had to be a Chiefs fan. So this is what I decided to go with. This is the perfect place to start. Can you update us on where we are from an injury perspective with the Chiefs? Where are we at with Trey Smith? Isaiah Pacheco's out for this.
Right.
Jalen Moore, what he got? COVID, the flu. What's going on here? Can you just update us on what's happening?
I'm guessing, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, Jalen Moore and his wife had a newborn baby girl. It was the morning of the Detroit Lions game, and also the same day that Josh Simmons left the team. I imagine. Again, I don't know this to be fact, but I imagine his illness has to do with his newborn child. So, hey, man, take some rest, get some sleep. Hope he's getting sleep in general, and that, he'll be with the team, when they fly to Buffalo tomorrow. He's expected to play. That's like the most important thing. Hey, you still have a high-quality left tackle. Unless something happens with Trey Smith's back in terms of like, hey, the walkthrough, getting on a plane. Obviously, he's going to be a part of the pregame warm-up. If everything goes fine, he should be in the lineup against the Buffalo Bills. It was positive this week that he had practiced each day, Wednesday through today. So we know we're not getting Isaiah Pacheco.
I saw him out there running routes.
Right.
You saw that video?
Yes,
He was running routes.
Doing the offensive
You got to be
lineman
healthy
drill.
if you catching passes.
Yeah, if you're extending your arms and trying to catch over the shoulder passes. But yeah, I think he'll play. Kareem Hunt will start in place of Isaiah Pacheco. The Chiefs did the wise thing. He did not practice this week. They're just going to let him rest for 2.5 weeks. See if he's available for the game against the Denver Broncos. And yeah, the fact that Xavier Worthy's not on the injury report anymore is a good sign. I know that they've talked about Hollywood Brown dealing with his own illness. He should be ready to go for Sunday's game. I just want to remind the audience too, Carrington, because I don't know if you've said it quite like this, but the Chiefs are still one of the healthiest teams in the NFL as we enter sort of the midway point for this regular season. So even though you're not going to have Isaiah Pacheco, you're entering this game a lot healthier than your opponent in the Buffalo Bills.
Is Elijah Mitchell going to be active for this game? Are they going to just have two running backs?
If I was to represent Elijah Mitchell as his agent, he got to be active. Like, why is my guy on the team if he can't be active, if he can't dress when the starting running back goes down? So the belief is, and I know Andy didn't say a ton today, but the belief is that Elijah Mitchell should be their third down back, just to alleviate some of the mental stuff for Brashard Smith, who again is a rookie. I don't know if the Bills are going to blitz a ton, but you'd rather have the guy that's done it before, even though he hasn't played this season, and Elijah Mitchell. That way Kareem Hunt can focus again on short yardage and obviously being the featured back. But yeah, I think we'll see him. And I was trying to think this earlier today, like if Elijah Mitchell gives you 3 good plays, is it worth it, right? Based on the WAR sort of aspect of this, like the wins above replacement, is that an average player? Well, an average player should give you a few good snaps, especially because, again, hadn't played this year, should be fresh, should be healthy. It's not like it's a playbook issue. Hey, you've had 2 months now to really like understand your role and how you fit within the offense, depending on what your role is. So yes, they should use Elijah Mitchell in a limited capacity in Sunday's game, just to make sure you protect Patrick Mahomes in the backfield, so that we can see, and this is what I'm really fascinated about, is like how the Chiefs try to weaponize Brashard Smith because of his skills, because of his speed, his ability to break tackles, because that has been an area that the Bills have struggled with, is actually tackling the opposing team's running back.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. So let's start with this, focusing on Chiefs and Bills. You have had a front row seat to all of these games.
Yes.
Let's remove the 13-second game because it's just different. Just everything about it. To go from the Chiefs are up, then they're down, then it's tied, and then they win the coin flip.
Yep.
Like, it is a 10-minute wave of emotion that happens in that game.
Yep.
What's your favorite memory aside from the 13-second comeback in the divisional round game?
in that game specifically?
No, just over the course of the 9 games that they played. Because mine is,
yes, okay.
If you remember, heading into that road divisional game, there was a conversation about Patrick Mahomes in a road playoff game.
Right.
They had all their playoff games at home, which was crazy that he had been in 2 Super Bowls before he played a road playoff game. They then go on the road and win, and you could just see it on Pat's face. He is running off the field.
Happy.
And those fans, I'm telling you, it was like Roger Clemens. They were throwing snowballs at him as he was leaving the field. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Do you have a memory that stands out to you over the last 9 games between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes?
What the memory that I'm not prisoner of the moment, ladies and gentlemen, but I just want to I want you to understand the schematic nature of what we last saw last year in 4th down, where it was clear to me, and it's clear even in this year's tape, that the Buffalo Bills' best receiver is Khalil Shakur. That is who their best receiver is. He mostly operates from the slot. So, if you're a Chiefs fan, you want to see Trent McDuffie in that matchup on Sunday. I just remind everybody that, there are levels to this. And again, this is the 4th down to maintain possession. You're near midfield. All you need is a field goal to tie the game. You could actually win and go to the Super Bowl if you're the Buffalo Bills to win the game. And it's Joe Brady, who's a very good offensive coordinator, but chooses to use Khalil Shakur in an orbit motion, which allows Trent McDuffie, the Chiefs' best cornerback, to blitz. And it absolutely fooled Joe Brady. It absolutely fooled the offensive line. And once again, Steve Spagnuolo, when you said we needed a play to give us an advantage against the freak that is Josh Allen, waited the entire season to reveal that blitz in that moment. And I'll just never forget being able to talk to Steve Spagnuolo in the locker room after that game. And my question was basically how in the world did you realize you needed to blitz your best player in the secondary to surprise, arguably the second best quarterback in the league? And the Bills could not counteract it because their best receiver was just doing an orbit motion just to see if it's in man, are they in man or zone? And it's no, actually he needs to be running down the field trying to catch the pass. So I'll never forget that, where it's well, Nate, when we say, why do coaches matter, especially when the talent is even, when you're trying to go to the Super Bowl, when it's a rematch, tell me why coaching matters. That play specifically just lets you know, oh, that guy has led 2 defenses to the Super Bowl and won, and he's got the strongest argument to be the first coordinator ever to enter the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And this guy's just a above average offensive coordinator. And it's just the offensive coordinator, the head coach, did not help the quarterback. And instead, the upper hand was given to Steve Spagnuolo, who you knew was going to blitz on 4th down. You had to have known he was going to blitz. And yet it still worked in a way that was shocking to everyone, including Josh Allen. So that's probably my favorite memory of the rivalry, other than, and to your point, I want to remind people, I think you said this before, this could be the last time the Chiefs play in this old Highmark, stadium that's been around essentially since Arrowhead. Carrington, for reporters who are in the press box, we actually have to go out into the concourse with the fans in order to get down there to the locker room to interview players and coaches. So Tyler Bass misses the kick. They start throwing snowballs at Patrick Mahomes, and it was like I was walking through a funeral. That's how I'll never forget that either. Okay, the Chiefs are going back to the AFC Championship game, which probably means they're winning it, even though they're going to Baltimore the next week. But just the look of just a cataclysmic, soul-sucking, one of my dearest family members just died, look across everybody's face. And we had to fight through the traffic of fans to be I just want to get down to the visitors' locker room. I'm sorry, your season's over, but they have the better field goal kicker, they have the better quarterback, they have the better head coach. Hey, you guys said it would be different with home field advantage.
It was not different.
It was not different.
It was not different at all. It's funny you said that, what you just said there at the end, because why I am picking Kansas City. In week 2, I thought it was just obvious. Philadelphia's better than Kansas City at this point. Kansas City didn't have Rashee Rice. They didn't have Xavier Worthy. Philadelphia was the better team. They ended up winning that football game. Chiefs had a chance, but the Eagles just made 1 or 2 more plays.
Yes.
I kind of feel like that in this game. The Chiefs are better right now than Buffalo. They are better coaching-wise. They are better on offense. Their defense is better. They are more battle-tested. They've played better teams so far this year.
Yep.
I'm not saying Buffalo can't win this game, and this game will probably come down to the fourth quarter and who can make one or two plays. But I've seen Buffalo play decent teams this year, and they've lost to every decent team that they have played for the most part this year. I think Kansas City is the better team. I think they are playing better football right now. I got to pick them in this game.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bills' defense is not what it used to be under the old days with Leslie Frazier. And even with, Sean McDermott as their head coach, they have just not been consistent and reliable. The biggest reason why they won even last week's game in Carolina, and I know the score says that it was a blowout, but I cannot stress enough how bad Andy Dalton was in that game for the Carolina Panthers, because there were so many turnovers that the game really got out of hand. When it comes to the actual depth chart, and this is somewhat similar, Carrington, to what we notice going into the game against Baltimore, like the Bills defense is so beat up. And again, the Chiefs offense is healthy outside of, Isaiah Pacheco, that I have real concerns about. Can the Bills defense hang with the Chiefs, let alone do they have the speed to compete? Again, their starting safeties are Jordan Poyer, who is not in his prime anymore, Cole Bishop, who is by definition a backup, Christian Bifford's probably their best offender in the secondary. Terrion Johnson is questionable. He's dealing with his own injury. It's wild that they have so many guys banged up, that the team's primary nickel cornerback in Sunday's game could be Cam Lewis, which, let me just stop you right there. Like, they're beat up on the defensive end. Ed Oliver, their best offensive player, you could argue, is not going to play in this game because he has a left bicep injury that occurred in Carolina. I mean, I'm looking at the injury report. I'm looking at what Elena Getzenberg, our reporter for ESPN.com, who covers the Bills, like, their linebacker, Shaq Thompson, hamstring. Like, they are so beat up to where, how can I see this game getting close unless Josh Allen goes nuclear? And we have not seen a quarterback really do that since probably the second half with Trevor Lawrence. So it's possible, but I would be really surprised unless the Chiefs make their own mistakes, unless they have a bunch of penalties, which we saw in Jacksonville. If you just say the Chiefs are going to play a normal game on offense, that is probably going to be somewhere 30 points or more, and that puts a lot of pressure on the scoreboard for both James Cook and Josh Allen against a defense in Kansas City that has played better over the last month. It's hard to see the talent disparity between both teams and want it to be a close game, because I always want it to be a close game. I always enjoy why this rivalry has mattered and why it's been so good to report on for these past 5 years. But I wish the Bills were a healthier team, and I just want to remind the audience, the Bills are not healthy, in particular on the defensive side of the ball. And even their kicker, Matt Prater, is dealing with a right calf injury. I mean, like, this team is beat up, and they just came back from their bye week. So I think the Chiefs are the favorites for a reason. Vegas has said that. No matter what, sports gambling website you want to choose from, they're the clear favorites. And if Mahomes plays the way he's been playing, good luck to Josh Allen, because they're going to need 35 points to perhaps get out of the game with a victory.
It's also odd to kind of feel this way heading into a game where Buffalo has more rushing yards than any team in the National Football League.
Yeah.
But you also don't really feel afraid of that. James Cook is having a fantastic year. You already know about Josh Allen in short yardage situations, but I'd be surprised if Josh Allen Cook ran for 100 yards in this game. I would just be surprised. So, like, even in what I would say is Buffalo's best advantage and what separates them offensively, you don't feel like that's going to be a critical wound for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have done a really good job for the last 3 years, whether it's been Christian McCaffrey, whether it's been Derrick Henry, whether it's been Saquon Barkley. Running backs just don't beat the Chiefs like that.
Correct. And even Travis Etienne, who was the best running back statistically at the time when they played the Jaguars, he also did not have a super great game. It was the legs of Trevor Lawrence that unlocked the offense, in particular in the second half for the Jaguars. So we're going to need Josh Allen to be on his absolute A game. And I understand that in the regular season, that has usually been the case. Josh Allen comes to play, ensures that the game is at least going to be close in the fourth quarter. The issue that the Chiefs might run into when it comes to James Cook is this might be the best offensive line outside of maybe Detroit that the Chiefs have played this season. And so I do want to give the Bills the benefit of the doubt. They could arguably have us say that, hey, we have the better running back and we have the better offensive line in the matchup. Of course, Trey Smith is dealing with the lower back injury, so he's not 100%, even if he plays on Sunday. The Bills have not had an issue with their offensive line, and that's been one of the reasons why James Cook has been so successful. It will be pretty remarkable because now I really got to go look back, Carrington. We're now looking at the 2023 schedule. That awful Christmas Day loss to the Vegas Raiders, where it was Zaire White who had 145 rushing yards. That's the last time a running back has truly gashed the Chiefs' defense. So we are trending towards several years now of, hey, this is something where if we get to, again, the philosophy is if we get you to third down, you know what's coming. You just don't know what kind of blitz or where Chris Jones is going to line up necessarily, whether it's going to be inside, outside. Hey, Trent McDuffie could be on your outside receiver. He could be in the slot. So there's a number of mixing and matching that you can do in terms of having like the certain cards you want to play on third down. But if the Chiefs get to third down and it's favorable in their hey, 3rd and 6 or more, make sure you contain Josh Allen and see if you can get some pressure to get him home. But at the same time, if there was ever a team, because I thought Jahmyr Gibbs was going to do it. I thought Saquon Barkley was going to do it. I thought, again, Travis Etienne was playing phenomenal until they faced the Chiefs. If James Cook can't do it, then this further cements that the Chiefs have a championship-winning defense because they eliminate one of your possibilities and put much of the onus on the opposing quarterback.
How close or how wide do you think the gap is between Mahomes and Josh Allen? Because we had Danny Parkins on the show earlier.
Oh, I heard.
And this was the thing I would say. If you're talking regular season production, both quarterbacks have had great seasons. I think it's pretty close. Where I think the difference is, I've seen Mahomes in multiple situations. Chiefs down 3, down 4. You got to put a drive together to go score.
Yep.
And the Chiefs are not 100% in these scenarios. No one is. But there is not
pretty close.
There is not a quarterback in the National Football League, and there are not many quarterbacks in the history of the National Football League that I'd rather have in that scenario than the one that the Chiefs have. The last 2 seasons with Buffalo, they have had the ball with less than 5 minutes to go with the chance to take a lead against the Kansas City Chiefs. Once they had 1st and 10 from the Chiefs' 27-yard line and got one more yard.
That's crazy.
And they had to kick a 47-yard field goal.
Right.
We obviously know what happened. Last year, they got the ball with 3 minutes to go at Arrowhead, down 3. They couldn't get the ball to midfield.
Crazy.
That would never happen with the Chiefs in that scenario. It would never happen.
Yes, and I thought Josh had actually learned a lot by the midseason game last year where he took it upon himself on the 4th and 2, because I think people forget, like, the Chiefs had the best, like, that was the best coverage they had all game. And Josh Allen was like, okay, well, the counterattack to that is I actually need to use my legs and weaponize it in a way to get us down the field. Now, of course, he scored the touchdown. I thought, oh, man, he's really learned something because that is going to be required in the postseason. He chose not to run the ball a ton in that, AFC Championship game last year. The Chiefs obviously were prepared for the short yardage situations when they did want him to be, sort of the lead guy on these quarterback sneaks. Guys, it's not close. It's not close. Again, Carrington, 2 years ago, this man had receivers that couldn't catch a cold, led the league in dropped passes, still got him to the Super Bowl with a offensive weaponry that was limited to 3 players. Travis Kelce, great to have, Hall of Famer. Rashee Rice, a rookie. And Isaiah Pacheco, a second-year player at running back. That's all he had. That's all he could count on. Last year, the man had 4 different left tackles, okay? And his best receiver was once again a rookie who was growing in the second half of the season that the Bills traded away or traded the pick for the rights to Xavier Worthy. And again, had Travis Kelce, which was nice, had Isaiah Pacheco, which was kind of, him coming off the injury. I know Kareem Hunt did really, really well in the AFC Championship game, but again, limited offensive stars next to him. And again, no left tackle. His left tackle was Joe Thuney, and the Bills still couldn't find a way to get consistent pressure. This is the year where we are seeing Josh Allen be put in similar circumstances, okay? He doesn't have to worry about left tackle because Deion Dawkins is great, okay? But outside of the offensive line, hey, bro, it's just you and James. Like, Brendan Bean, they've tried. Again, Khalil Shakur, their best receiver. He all right. Keon Coleman, stop it. Josh Palmer, he not even going to play in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Curtis Samuel, he was kind of a hot commodity a couple years ago in free agency. Hasn't panned out. Elijah Moore, anybody know who he is? Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox are fine tight ends. But
Dalton Kincaid's not the player I thought he was going to be coming out of college.
Correct.
We mentioned that earlier where, I mean, a major difference in the offense is the Chiefs took a couple of big swings. You took a big swing on Xavier Worthy. He has panned out. You took a big swing on Rashee Rice. It has panned out. Buffalo has done something very similar. Dalton Kincaid was the 25th overall pick, but you'd rather have the other two options that Kansas City has and Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman was the 33rd overall pick. So if you're at the point where you would probably take 3 or 4 pass catching options on Kansas City heading into this matchup before you would take one from Buffalo, that explains why Kansas City right now has the second best offense from a numbers perspective in the league, and how Buffalo, from an offensive perspective, appears to be down kind of across the board.
He's got to put on a cape every Sunday if he's not playing the Carolina Panthers. That being Josh Allen, because again, objectively, I wouldn't pick Khalil Shakur unless he was the 5th option. Again, Travis Kelce, because he's a Hall of Famer. Rashee Rice, because of the dynamic ability he has. Xavier Worthy for speed. I'd even take Hollywood Brown just from a consistent production standpoint. Or you could even argue, hey, if I want a true deep threat, I could go Tyquan Thornton as 4, and then I would pick Shakir as 5. Like that's just where we are. And again, being an MVP candidate, being a star quarterback, being a franchise guy, you got to lift all boats. And some of these boats ain't even worth lifting, but that's the job. Like, you got to make Keon Coleman work, or he's got to get better over the second half of the season. That comes down to leadership. That comes down to the quarterback figuring out how I can utilize him to accentuate his strengths and limit his weaknesses. Again, their big offseason signing was Josh Palmer. They chose Keon Coleman. I want the audience to realize this. They chose Keon Coleman over Xavier Worthy, and Xavier Worthy knows that. So the 2 times he's played the Bills, he's absolutely torched them. He's just got to be a superhero, and he's definitely talented and capable enough to do it. But he's in the same scenario that Mahomes was in just 2 years ago, and as of right now, they're 5-2. But it's not. I don't think it's going to be like it was last year where he just had more options and he himself was playing better. That's why he won the MVP award, because even with a limited offensive talent group around him, he still led them to a lot of wins, and he was still spectacular, when it got down to it in the fourth quarter. This year, because of their schedule, they mostly benefited off of it, but they're going to face a lot higher competition starting Sunday and moving forward in the second half of the season.
Right now, we're joined in studio by Nate Taylor of ESPN. Coming up on the other side, I'll ask you the question, does either team need this game more? We'll get your answer. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store. The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. From who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback, You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet expires 7 days on the street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at depend.com.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Renner Garage Door. Okay, multi-car crash still working down south, 35 northbound past Gardner. Left lane is blocked. Right lane is moving. Right lane and right shoulder getting through. Bonner Springs, that's a stall, 435 northbound just before Kansas Avenue. Off to the right shoulder, a lot of onlooker delay, and that's going to be up and out of your way here pretty soon. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years, offering the latest styles, smart technology, trusted family-owned reliability. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoor.com. RENNER, forward and back. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I want to play this audio for you. Right now, we're joined by Nate Taylor of ESPN. One of your colleagues, Dan Orlowski, on ESPN's Get Up. They were kicking around the question, is Sunday a must-win for the Chiefs or the Bills? Here's what Dan Orlowski had to say.
Yeah, this is a must-win for Buffalo, and I go back to why last season ended the way it did. If you go to this matchup at home in Buffalo, Josh Allen has that massive run on fourth down that basically salts the Chiefs away, and then you go to the playoff game, that fourth down that was on the road in Kansas City where he's running around against that pressure, no plan for the protection, and it's a Hail Mary heave up, which ends up being somewhat of a drop by Kincaid. For Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, that game in the playoffs has to be played in Western New York.
So that was Dan Orlowski. He was on ESPN's Get Up, and that's what he had to say about why he thinks it's more of a must-win for Buffalo. I think it's a must-win on both sides. I think you can argue the same thing for each side. Both teams, for the first time in a while, they are in a real fight for their division.
Yes.
Denver is for real, at least in the division conversation. The Chargers are certainly going to be someone you got to deal with in the division. You've already lost one game to them. Same thing for Buffalo on the other side. There also was not a clear path to being the 1 seed because Indianapolis looks like a team that could maybe win 13 games this year and at least spoil the party in terms of being the 1 seed. So I think you can argue this is a must-win for both sides. I'm curious to get your thoughts. Do you think this is more of a must-win for the Chiefs or for the Bills?
I think everything Orlovsky said was accurate and fair, and I completely understand it. I know that based on the standings right now, the Chiefs are behind both Denver and Los Angeles because of the tiebreaker to start the season. I guess I want to treat it kind of like tennis. Like, you're at home, it's on your serve, like hold serve if you're Buffalo. I tend to lean in that aspect. I know that multiple people have talked about this. I tend to agree with it. They have to go to New England in December, them being the Buffalo Bills, if they want a shot of potentially, controlling the AFC East. The Patriots don't have a tough schedule, so falling even further behind if New England beats the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday, they'll know that by kickoff, by the way. They play the early slate. And so the Bills will know what's going on with New England, before they kick it off against the Chiefs. I tend to say the home team has more pressure in this situation, not just from the standing standpoint, but also like for the Chiefs, you could technically lose this game. Again, I think they'll win, but they still have 2 games against Denver, another game against the Raiders to end the regular season, and probably the most interesting game on their schedule that doesn't involve the Indianapolis Colts is at home against the Chargers on December 14th. So I kind of want to say Buffalo, but I think there's arguments on both sides, and I could understand why you would choose one versus the other.
I think Buffalo will look back if Josh Allen doesn't win a championship, and they will live with regret if they don't get the 1 seed this year. The AFC, in some ways, has kind of fallen how they would want it to go.
Yeah.
We talk about a big 4. Lamar Jackson missed a good portion of the season, and they're 3-5 right now, and you already beat them earlier this season.
That's true.
So
you would have the tiebreak. Yeah,
there's
that's
no
true.
Joe Burrow to deal with. Every major game that Buffalo has this season is at home. Kansas City's at home. Philadelphia's at home. Baltimore was at home. Tampa Bay is at home. So any team that you think is really good, you play them in a home scenario. The rest of the schedule was just cupcakes soft. If Buffalo ends up as the 3 seed and they got to go on the road possibly to Kansas City and then on the road to Indianapolis, they have nobody to blame but themselves. This schedule was tailor-made for you to be the 1 seed.
It really was. I mean, they got Cleveland. they have to go to Pittsburgh, but again, Pittsburgh.
You got to play somebody eventually.
I mean, maybe the game against Houston is interesting too. If Houston can sort of turn around, but they kind of been up and down as well. Yeah, this is, again, for a division-leading team where you're supposed to get one of the harder schedules, this is pretty nice. They got the NFC South, and even still lost to the Atlanta Falcons. So, yeah, I feel for Buffalo because sometimes you're the team that's chasing the dynasty. And, I mean, Peyton Manning went through this with the Colts, right? Back when Bill Belichick and Tom Brady were controlling the AFC. And yeah, every now and then Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers would sort of pop up. And I know there was a time where, hey, maybe the Broncos can get involved before Peyton Manning obviously moved there. But you got a breakthrough at some point. So at least for Peyton Manning, they did it 1 year in the Tom Brady era where they actually broke through. That game was the AFC Championship game at home in Indianapolis. We thought we were going to get that 2 years ago. As of right now, I can't say that the Bills will have home field advantage or will even win the AFC East because, again, they have to at least split with the New England Patriots because the New England Patriots have such an easy schedule as well. I do not think they're better than the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are one of these teams that is ready to continue to improve over the course of the season. I'm not sure I can say that about the Bills because if you weren't listening earlier, ladies and gentlemen, half of the Bills' defense is either A, out, or B, seriously injured. So they're a beat-up unit right now. And again, will that unit get healthier over the course of the second half of the season? That remains to be seen, whereas the Chiefs are a pretty healthy team in comparison. Like, you don't ever want to be the bride when it comes to these sort of situations, but that's who they are. They're the team that has tried the most, done the most with the talent they have around him, but they still can find better ways to support Josh Allen because there are not that many superstar players next to him outside of James Cook this year, and there's no one on defense who can do the equivalent. So it will be their fault if they don't get the AFC East, if they don't get the 1 seed, but they're not as a complete team as Indianapolis. I don't think they're as talented as Kansas City. They don't have the experience that Kansas City has had in the postseason in terms of success. So we're asking a lot from Josh Allen, but Carrington, I would be more surprised with the Bills winning this game in a shootout manner than I would be if the Chiefs won by double digits.
I also think when it comes to Josh Allen that he is starting to get into like a weird kind of historical conversation for this reason. He's the same age as Mahomes, but doesn't have nearly the amount of success. He's not necessarily young anymore, but he's not old.
Correct.
And and the next generation is coming. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Drake May. We know there's always Ty Simpson will be a lot better than people think in the NFL. Mendoza, so he's just in that it's time. This is your 8th season, and now we're reaching the point of most of your peers all time they've won a championship by now. Now, yes, there are examples. It took Peyton Manning a little bit. It took Elway a little bit. It took Matthew Stafford a little bit.
Yep.
But there's also a bunch of guys who just never won a championship. Matt Ryan never won a championship. Phillip Rivers never won a championship. Cam Newton. We can go up and down the list of quarterbacks who are really good.
Cam Newton had a year that I'll never forget, for sure. Kids. Yeah. And made the Super Bowl.
And that was it. And it just was over. So I'm with Josh where, okay, maybe it doesn't happen this year. But if it doesn't happen in the next 2-3 seasons, it probably just isn't happening for you.
Yeah. So if we're taking again, I hate to do this, but here's where we're going, kids. This is right up my childhood alley. I think the greatest quarterback who never won a Super Bowl and only appeared in one, which Josh Allen has yet to do, is Dan Marino. And I know they showed him last night on Amazon Prime as he watched Tua just play awful at the position. But, when Dan Marino was 29, 30, that was the height. And his teams never got better from that moment on, even though he consistently was very good to, you could argue, great. I mean, early in Dan Marino's career, he was lighting it up, y'all. And, he just happened to live. No, he wasn't in the same conference, but he just happened to live in the same era as Joe Montana, who went on to win 4 Super Bowls, and obviously beat Dan Marino's Dolphins in one of them. Carrington, look at these. Listen, this isn't necessarily reflective on Dan Marino, but it is accurate. You get to the 31 and later years of Dan Marino, as I'm looking up right now. Again, injuries can play into the mix. The roster construction wasn't great. They were not going to the playoffs as consistently. So in 91, they were 8-8. 92, 11-5. Okay, well, they were 10-6 in 94, 9-5, 7-6, 9-7, 10-6, and that was it. It can, to your point, you can be great, but it's still the ultimate team sport. And, all the Pro Bowls, those stopped coming consistently once he got to age 31. He was only a Pro Bowler 3 times after that, even though he played until he was 38, until his body literally couldn't do it anymore.
Also got to factor in the kind of quarterback that Josh Allen is. And
correct.
We haven't seen too many 6'6", 245, especially downhill run on short yardage backs. Those guys usually Josh Allen ain't going to be this at 36 years old. There's just not really a history and track record.
Unless he just takes amazing care of his body and doesn't have, I think one of the things that we always have to remember with Cam Newton, because I think he is the comp, is, Cam Newton got in that terrible car crash, and that, I think, expedited things in terms of his recovery and his ability to, have the durability that he once had. But yeah, I mean, Dan Marino was a statue, ladies and gentlemen, for much of his 35, 36, 37, and 38 seasons. Again, it'd be cool to see Josh Allen just like operate from the pocket, from the shotgun, get the ball out quick. But that's not his play style, at least as of right now. So he'll have to either transition into that, kind of like what Aaron Rodgers is doing now, which I think is actually pretty cool to see. Aaron Rodgers is like, I'll run occasionally, but I'm mostly going to be a textbook, operate out of the pocket quarterback, try to get the ball out of my hands, let my playmakers do the work. So we'll see if Josh Allen can do that. But yeah, it's rough to know that also the Bills would have lost in last year's divisional round if not for a guy named Mark Andrews.
Who just dropped, a wide open.
Who dropped a wide open 2-point conversion, who fumbled on the previous possession. It pained my heart that my network that I now am employed by was like, Lamar Jackson can't do it. And I'm like, he cannot catch the ball too.
I'm actually a little confused why Mark Andrews didn't get caught up in all that sweeps that happened last week, because he was out here selling too. We got Mark Rozier out here. Coming up on the other side, we're gonna get your keys to the game. Chiefs win if, Bills win if scenario. We'll celebrate Halloween as well. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Tune in Mondays at 4 to hear the play-by-play voice of the Chiefs, Mitch Holthus, on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Charlie's battery is struggling to start. Not ideal before the tailgate, so he goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone,
where a friendly AutoZoner tests his battery for free. Looks like he needs a new one, so he gets a Duralast battery.
Have fun and stay warm.
And he makes it to the tailgate early enough to get his favorite spot. Free battery testing and charging. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sports fans, listen up. 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer, and bladder leaks can be a side effect. That's why Depend is teaming up with the Prostate Cancer Foundation to encourage screening. Because health is a long game, and it's yours to win. Now here's the cool part. Through November, Depend is contributing up to $300,000 to prostate cancer research by donating 25 cents for every purchase of Depend shields, guards, and Real Fit products. Void in Mississippi. Learn more at Depend.com.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. RENNER forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER. RENNER.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Renner Garage Door. Okay, multi-car crash still working down south 35 northbound past Gardner. Left lane is blocked. Right lane is moving. Right lane and right shoulder getting through. Bonner Springs, that's a stall 435 northbound just before Kansas Avenue. Off to the right shoulder. A lot of onlooker delay, and that's going to be up and out of your way here pretty soon. Renner Garage Door has proudly served KC for nearly 70 years, offering the latest styles, smart technology, trusted family-owned reliability. Get your free estimate today. RennerDoor.com. RENNER, forward and back. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. We are happy right now to be joined by Nate Taylor of ESPN. We'll get to some Halloween fun here in a bit. We'll get the hits coming up at the top of the hour. We'll get you out of here with this last Chiefs and Bills question. Give me your Chiefs win if scenario. Give me your Bills win if scenario for Sunday.
Chiefs win if they don't do anything stupid. Just don't do anything stupid. And if people are wondering, what does that mean, Nate? Well, don't. I just want to remind people how the Chiefs lost to the Jaguars, which is
they did something stupid.
Don't have 13 penalties. Don't have an interceptable pass bounce off 3 different defenders in Trent McDuffie, Nick Bolton, and Drew Tranquill. And hey, I don't think we'll have an effort issue with Chris Jones. That was sort of an anomaly. But yeah, don't let the quarterback fall down and then get up and run in the end zone. For the Bills to win, I've said this multiple times. Hey man, let's see it, Josh. Treat this like it's God, what's a great scenario? I mean, let's treat it like Cam Newton back at Auburn. Hey man, because you're with me, you're on my team, we have a chance today. It'd be really cool if James Cook had a great game, but we've said this before, Carrington, the Chiefs have done a really good job at containing the running back in terms of production and just explosive plays. So that really puts the onus right back on Josh Allen. Hey, man, be better than the coaching staff. Be better than the defense that's beat all the way up. Trust your offensive line. Use them to your benefit. But, take the ball, tuck it. The Bills are going to have multiple extended drives, 10, 14, 15 plays that end in touchdowns for them to, not only, limit the possessions in the game and keep it close, but have a chance to sort of win the game at the end, like Trevor Lawrence did for the Jaguars. So, if the Chiefs don't do anything stupid, I just think the talent will reveal itself, and I think the Chiefs will win.
All right, before we get you out of here, we're going to play a very, very quick game called Classic or Trash. We are going to give you some candies, and you're going to tell us if you think this is a classic candy.
Yes.
Or if you think this candy is trash.
Okay.
Rob, hit my spooky music. First up, Payday. Classic or trash?
Trash. I can't. I just can't, man. Cool concept, but nah. There are better options on the board. So if you like Paydays, that's fine, but no, trash.
Crunch Bar.
Now we're kind of getting somewhere, okay? I think that's a classic. Traditional, nice chocolate bar, got some crunch to it, obviously. Sweet, but not too sweet. Okay, I'll give it a classic. It deserves to be a part of your Halloween bag, of your trick-or-treating bag.
Mike and Ike's.
Are we doing spicy or regular?
Regular.
Trash. I need spicy. I need hot tamale, Mike and Ike's.
See Rob's face.
He just gave the skank face.
Mike and Ike's are incredible. Hot tamales, just like cinnamon candy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I asked. Which one we doing? Nah, trash. Better. There are better sweet options that are, not chocolate.
I have never asked you this. I actually really like this candy. Raisinets. Raisinets are a movie theater staple for me. If you and I were going to see the movie, and you know how you can get 3 for $3 at a Walgreens. Yeah, give me one of those.
You're trying to convince me. You're trying to convince me.
I love a raisinette, but this ain't me. This is you, classic or trash.
I think as I've gotten older, I tend to agree with you. If I was a kid, if I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, nah, get it out of my face, trash. So it's of a certain era, of a certain of a certain age that I would say for kids, hey, if someone hands you Raisin M's, say thank you, but no thank you.
Regular M&Ms.
Oh, classic.
Not peanut.
Classic.
Not peanut butter.
Classic. Give me any M&Ms and they just bang. They just bang in the streets, man. It don't matter what kind you give me. Hopefully you don't have a peanut allergy, but if you do, all right, then yeah, take your classic M&Ms. M&Ms are classic, man. No complaints whatsoever.
I gotta go trash.
Trash?
I like M&Ms.
What?
There's just so superior versions of them. Wow. Like if you're giving me the regular dark brown bag, you don't care about me. Like you don't want me to be happy.
You need the bare minimum?
Yeah. Or I'm gonna throw this one out there. Rolo. You going classic or trash on a Rolo? Been around a long time.
It's been around for a hot minute. Rob, we cannot accept this.
You're going trash?
Trash.
100% trash.
I cannot.
I love a Rolo.
Like my bag is out. I'm at your door and you give me a roll?
Give me a handful of Rolos, for sure.
I might as well take a Tootsie Roll then.
Oh, goodness. Oh, boys. All right. Three Musketeers.
Oh, that's a classic. Classic, because it got the caramel. See, that's the trick. If Three Musketeers didn't have caramel, they would not be out here. They would not still be in the league. But classic. I'm a fiend for chocolate. I think that's what we've realized.
No, that's 100% what we learned.
But it can't be just like Rolo chocolate.
That's what we learned. That's our guy Nate Taylor joining us in studio. He is with ESPN. I'm actually going to make the Chiefs a 3.5 point favorite so I can get them at plus money.
Heck yeah.
I think they're winning this game. I think they're winning this game in a way that is not a coin flip feel. Because it feels like these games usually come down to coin flips. My prediction, my feeling is on Monday, we are going to leave thinking that team is better than that team.
And they could go out there and prove it.
I would say just like last year in the regular season, whenever Buffalo won, you just thought, hey, right now at this exact point, Buffalo is the better team. What does Kansas City need to do in January to be better than them?
Exactly.
I think we're going to leave with a similar feeling on Sunday between these two teams. That is our guy, Nate Taylor, joining us in studio, getting you ready for Sunday's matchup. Coming up, we got the hits. We got so much to talk about. Keep it right here. So drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. You've got a new problem in Belton. It's a crash and debris, 150 highway westbound at 71. Left lane is blocked. Gardner, the crash is still there. 35 northbound just past Gardner Road in the left lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, I want to tell you guys about my friends over at The Other Place. Kansas City has a big game this weekend, and I know you're going to be looking for a place to watch it. Well, stop by and go see our friends at The Other Place. They got a 14-inch two-topping pizza for $12. They got an $8 wing basket, and you can also get some tots for $12. A $4 domestic OP cup. If you want to go do something after work, go celebrate Red Friday with $6 select appetizers and a Busch Light Tall Boy. You know our guy, Rob. He loves a Busch Light Tall Boy. So on Sunday, if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind game day experience, a game day atmosphere that rivals being at the game and some of the best pizza in town, go stop by and see our friends at The Other Place.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at repairclinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Ready, set, Ford. That's what Shawnee Mission Ford is all about, bringing meaning to Ready, Set, Ford. Hey, it's Gold. You know I've been driving a new vehicle thanks to my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford for over a month now, and they offer their customers the largest discounts on every new vehicle, along with aggressive rebates and top trade-in value. And maybe you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle. You're in luck as well with over 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from at prices and terms well within any budget. Shawnee Mission Ford is on a mission to do more.
This report is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people.
Get up to a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select pairs of wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Listen up, folks. I want to tell you guys about my new obsession. It's Daisy French Onion Dip. With football season here, it is the perfect dip for your chips, your wings. The delicious Daisy French Onion Dip and the Daisy Ranch Dip, they're game changers. They're delicious as a homemade dip, and they're made with real herbs and real spices and also ingredients that you'd find right there in your kitchen. So the next time you're having people come over to celebrate the start of the football season, you better make sure you have one thing, and I'm talking about that Daisy French Onion Dip. You can find it the next time you go to the grocery store.
Things are getting spooky in South Kansas City, but the deals at Rob Sight Ford, they're scary good. Rob Sight is with me. Hey, Rob, what's haunting the lot this month?
No tricks, just treats. From Broncos to Explorers to F-150s and commercial vehicles, we've got the inventory, the selection, and the lowest prices in Kansas City.
And no creepy sales tactics, just non-commissioned staff and real value.
Exactly. And while we're on the scary stuff, Kevin, your brisket from last weekend still haunts me.
Okay, dry rub shouldn't actually mean dry.
But here's the real flavor. KC's only top-rated Ford dealer on Google, 4.8 stars with nearly 3,000 reviews. Voted best car dealership in KC by Kansas City Magazine.
If you want simple, upfront, and easy, Rob Sight Ford is the treat you've been looking for. Visit 135th and State Line and buy right with Rob Sight.
Rob Sight Ford, ROBSIGHT.com. And Kevin, leave the cooking to us this Halloween.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Hey, shh.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Happy Halloween to you or yours. So whether you planned on passing out candy to the kiddos, maybe you were taking your own kiddos, out today. Maybe you're going to a high school football game, whatever you were doing, man. Hopefully you have a fantastic Friday. We got a lot to get into. Let's not waste anybody's time. Let's get right to it. I want to play this audio for you guys. This is from Dan Orlowski of ESPN's Get Up. He considers this to be a must-win for the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, this is a must-win for Buffalo, and I go back to why last season ended the way it did. If you go to this matchup at home in Buffalo, Josh Allen has that massive run on fourth down that basically salts the Chiefs away. And then you go to the playoff game, that fourth down that was on the road in Kansas City where he's running around against that pressure, no plan for the protection, and it's a Hail Mary heave up, which ends up being somewhat of a drop by Kincaid. For Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl, that game in the playoffs has to be played in Western New York.
I can't disagree with a lot of what Dan Orlowski had to say, but I think this is very important to note. I think this game is equally important for both sides. Now, maybe you don't want to admit it, and that's perfectly fine, or maybe you just don't believe it. That's also perfectly fine. But the Chiefs are in a legitimate fight with two other teams for the division. So at this point, losing a game is potentially losing ground. Now, the Chiefs have the opportunity to make that ground up. They still have 2 games against the Broncos, and they still have a game against the Los Angeles Chargers. So I don't want to make it seem like all is lost if they lose this, but I think it could potentially take 12 wins to win the AFC West. You already got 3 losses, so you don't have a lot of wiggle room yet when we're talking about your ability to go out there and win the division. I would argue the exact same thing for the Buffalo Bills. They have a legitimate contender in the division. Now, the Jets not going anywhere. The Dolphins not going anywhere. They just fired their general manager. But the Patriots are a legitimate contender, and the Patriots have already won a game in Buffalo. So both teams are fighting the exact same fight in their division. You got to keep up. You got to keep pace. You are looking around, and usually you are used to being a couple meters ahead of the competition. Right now, you're from behind potentially, and you're trying to catch up. So I think that's very important to note. I also think when looking at the conference, so not the division, but the conference, Indianapolis right now, they're the favorite to be the 1 seed in the AFC. It's not Kansas City. It's not Buffalo. It's Indianapolis. They also play in a down division, and you would think that the Colts are going to continue to gobble up wins. They're getting capable quarterback play. They're running the football effectively. Their defense is playing good. There's a lot of reasons to think that the Colts can win 13 games or more this season. So you are in a legitimate fight. That matters. You guys are both, I would say, in almost the exact same position in your respective divisions and in the conference. So I don't think that this game necessarily means more for one side than the other side. I think it is equally important to both sides. Now, I think from a statement perspective, it could mean 2 different things. For Kansas City, there is a big difference going into the bye week at 7-3, coming off a 4-game win streak, 1 win against the potential best team in the NFC, and 1 game against one of your contending teams in the AFC. I'm talking about going into that Cancun weekend or wherever you plan on going with all of the confidence in the world. It will almost completely eliminate the 0-2 start if they win this game and go into the bye week 6-3. You go into the bye week 6-3 with the ability to get healthy. You get Isaiah Pacheco back. You got Trey Smith back. You'll get everybody back coming up for a very important division game coming up in a couple of Sundays against the Denver Broncos. Like, you cannot undersell what it means to be 6-3. You are right there in the mix with everybody else. You didn't lose ground. You are right there. So that is a massive, massive advantage for the Chiefs. 5-4 is a little bit different. Now, this is something I am guilty of, and I think a lot of people in the media are guilty of. We talk about the Chiefs like they're the best team, even though they don't have the best record. Now, benefit of the doubt, how they've played, they've earned it. I don't think you can have that conversation going into the bye week if the Chiefs are 5-4. And the Broncos game then coming after the bye week is an absolute must win. If you are 5-5 heading into the middle part of November, and you are 3 games back in your division, we got to start having some real tough conversations about the Chiefs. Now, I'm picking Kansas City. I'm not here to fearmonger. I'm just giving you the options of what a win means for Kansas City and what a loss in heading into the bye week potentially means for Kansas City. If you're Buffalo, a little bit of this is kind of stemming the tide. You've already had your bye week, and you are beat up. You are injured on almost every single phase of the defense, whether it's your best pass rusher, the linebacker room, the corners, the safeties. You are beat up at every single level. If you can potentially steal this game and protect home turf and continue to get healthy and get right, you stay right on track. But the worst thing that could possibly happen to Buffalo is this is a team that possibly doesn't win their division. They're the 5 seed, and now you maybe got to go on the road to Baltimore in the first round of the playoffs. Maybe you got to go on the road to Kansas City, and maybe in the AFC Championship game, you got to go on the road to Indianapolis. If that's the case, Buffalo, I would start preparing for the NFL draft. With your defense, with your lack of offensive weapons, I would start preparing for the NFL draft if that's the path that you have to see. I feel much more confident about Kansas City's ability to navigate potentially as a wild card team than I would feel good about Buffalo's team. Buffalo does one thing incredibly well, at least so far this season. That's run the football. They're the best rushing team in the league. But their passing game, it leaves a little bit to be desired. We asked Jeremy White about this earlier today. Here's what he said.
The big story around here, even though they won last week 49 over Carolina, the big story is that the offense does not look right, especially the passing game. Sure, the Bills can run for 200, and if they face a team that can't stop the run, they can run all day and win the game that way. But in obvious passing situations, the Bills' offense is in trouble. Josh Allen is taking more sacks. His pressure-to-sack ratio has always been very good. He's getting hit a lot. He's getting sacked a lot, and teams are blitzing him more and more and more because there are no threats on the outside. Teams are not afraid of the Bills' weapons. And right now the quarterback is paying for it. He's also not without blame here. He's not played particularly well. Turned the ball over a couple of times, missed some open throws, missed some open reads. So right now, the number one thing Bills fans would probably like to see would be see the MVP quarterback look like an MVP because it's been a little while since that's happened.
So taking a look at the Buffalo Bills and how they performed on offense so far in the first 7-8 games of the season, they are running the ball exceptionally well. Between Josh Allen and James Cook, they have over 1,000 yards rushing so far through the first 7 games of the season. They have 13 touchdowns between the two of them. Those two are running the ball at an exceptional level. Offensively, that's kind of about it. Now, I like Khalil Shakir. I think he is a very productive player. If Khalil Shakir is your number one wide receiver, you got some problems because that's not who he should be. Hollywood Brown shouldn't be your number one receiver. Tyquan Thornton shouldn't be your number one receiver. You know what they are? Very productive role players. That's not what Buffalo is asking Shakir to be. This is where I think you see the separation between these two organizations. Kansas City drafted Rashee Rice. He has turned into a potential star. Xavier Worthy drafted in the first round. He has turned himself into a potential star. That's not really what anybody on Buffalo has turned into. They spent the draft pick on Khalil Shakir, mid-round pick. He has turned out to be a very productive player. Dalton Kincaid, they spent the 25th overall pick on Dalton Kincaid. Is he one of the top 3 tight ends in the league? Is he one of the top 5 tight ends in the league? Has he been one of those transformative players? I don't think so. Keon Coleman, I love Keon Coleman coming out of college. He's a player I wouldn't have minded to see in Kansas City. You listen to anybody, it sounds like they're playing him out of position, so they're not getting the most out of his ability. Keon Coleman is averaging less than 10 yards a catch. That's bad for a player of his ability. He has 260 yards receiving so far this season. We're talking about in year 2, you didn't take a jump, you didn't develop, and we're looking at a potential 650-yard wide receiver that you took with the 33rd overall pick. They spent $28 million on Joshua Palmer. They spent $18 million guaranteed. He has 200 yards so far for them this season. So you haven't swung big and connected in free agency, and you haven't done that same thing when it comes to the draft, where Kansas City, they've been smart with their free agent acquisitions. You're paying Juju next to nothing. You got Tyquan Thornton for $1 million. You got Hollywood Brown, who's making $8 million guaranteed. Between the 3 of those guys, you still got $8 million to play with if you're talking about guaranteed money for Joshua Palmer. And when you drafted high in the first round with Xavier Worthy, you connected. When you drafted Rashee Rice, you connected. That's not what Buffalo has right now. I'm picking Kansas City because I just think they're better. I think the Chiefs have the better head coach. I think their quarterback is currently playing better. I think their quarterback has more things around him than I think that Buffalo's quarterback does. I trust Kansas City's defense more. I think Kansas City's defense can take away the things that Buffalo wants to really do well, and that's run the football. They run the football exceptionally well. They have more rush yards than anybody else. I think you got to ask the question, well, that's great. Well, what else do you do? They don't throw it well. They haven't protected their quarterback great. And if your way to beat the Chiefs is to just go Super Saiyan, go Superman, I think that Spags can figure some things out and limit some things, and you can really have some success against this team. I told you guys, I feel confident in this game. I'm actually flipping the line a little bit. I'm taking the Chiefs minus 3.5. I think it will be noticeable at the end of the game that the Chiefs are the better team. That's the best way to put it. I think it will be noticeable. Last year in the regular season, I thought Buffalo was better than Kansas City at that point. I thought they needed a little bit more. I thought they were the better, healthier team. I think that will be the feeling in this game. I think the Chiefs win this game 31-21. I think they win this game by at least a touchdown. I feel good about Kansas City heading into this matchup. I feel good about the momentum and the way that they've played. I feel good about the offense. I feel good about a defense that feels like it turned the corner the last couple of weeks. We will continue to talk Chiefs and Bills coming up in the second segment, in the 5:30 segment. We'll hear from Danny Parkins of FS1. But, Rob, let's get to the hits.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
As always, Carrington, the hits are brought to you by Baker University. Make your next era orange at Baker University, the first university in Kansas and ranked number 1 in return on investment among private universities in Kansas. Baker University, forever in our orange era.
All right, this is how I would like to do the hits today, and shout out to Baker University. This is how I would like to do it. I want to take a trip down memory lane between these two teams, and that will be the hits for today. We got to start with, if we're going to take a trip down memory lane, we got to start with this one, don't we?
36-36 tie in overtime. Chiefs first down and goal to go. Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking, right side he wants, and a comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelsey on a push fade comeback, and the Chiefs have won this incredible divisional playoff game in overtime.
I don't know if you could quite possibly have more of a swing of emotion than the final 10 minutes of actual time between Chiefs and Bills. The Chiefs have a 33-29 lead. The Chiefs scored a touchdown. It was with 1 minute left in the game. The Chiefs probably feel we have a 4-point lead. We just got to get one stop. And if we get one stop in this game, we win the game. We don't talk about that part of it. The Chiefs defense had an ability to end the game. They gave up a touchdown. Harrison Butker kicks the ball off. It is 1 minute left. And then Josh Allen happened. 28-yard pass, 12-yard pass, 16-yard pass, 19-yard pass touchdown with 13 seconds left on the clock. Josh Allen deserves a lot of credit for getting his team down the field in 47 seconds on the road at Arrowhead. They score a touchdown. Now, I imagine many of you at that moment are thinking, man, we lost. The season is over. What can we do? Well, we know how this story ends. 13 seconds left in the game. The Chiefs run 2 plays. Rob, they ran 2 plays. They kicked a 49-yard field goal. It's not like Harrison Butker hit some 61-yard miraculous field goal. No, they got themselves in a manageable distance and kicked a 49-yard field goal. They win the coin toss. They go down the field. I think it is the best game that we have ever seen at Arrowhead. Now, I know they didn't win the next week, but you talk about one of the most remarkable wins that you could possibly have. Whenever Patrick Mahomes' career is over and they make the ultimate 15-minute highlights, the touchdown pass that he threw to Travis Kelsey in the celebration will absolutely be included. That is one of the best memories so far of his career. So that is going to be hit number 1. They haven't always been good memories against this team. They did have this one.
20-17 Buffalo. They send another blitz. Selling out. Flag on the play. Might be a free one. They've got Kelsey at the 30. Kelsey 25, angling back. 20, now he's going to lateral it back at the 15-yard line. It's Tony. 10, 5, touchdown, Kansas City. They mess around in practice with this all the time. It's going to go with a 49-yard touchdown. Kelsey, the old University of Cincinnati quarterback.
Number 19, offense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
I don't know. I'm serious. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes ever talked to Kadarius Toney after that moment. Like, not a single time. Did you know Kadarius Toney, he only played in one more game the rest of that season. He played in the New England game. He had 5 yards receiving, and I think the Chiefs just said, you know what, we're done here. And then in 2024, he then is off the team. He then plays with Cleveland. He had basically no statistics, and that was kind of the end of Kadarius Toney's career. Like, that game is quite literally the end of Kadarius Toney's career. He plays in 4 NFL games after that. He almost immediately uploaded a SoundCloud page after that. I've never seen Patrick that mad. The 2 times I would say it's even close. It's the AFC playoff game against Jacksonville when he gets hurt and he wants to go back in the game and Andy basically tells him no. And it was that game. Just, how could you do this? Line up correctly. This already screwed me one time. I should have won the 6 Super Bowls, and now you're going to line up correctly. I don't think he's ever talked to him after that. I think he deleted his number out of his phone. I think he honestly deleted his number. Please get away from me. I don't want you around. Please stay away from us. That was the end of Kadarius Toney's career. I want to play a couple more for you guys as we are taking a trip down memory lane between these two teams. And something always happens when these two teams play each other. They have played each other 9 times between Mahomes and Josh Allen. And we're not even counting the time where Clyde Edwards-Helaire ran for 170 yards with nobody in the stands. Just something always happens when these two teams play each other. A couple of things that I think have to be pointed out with Josh Allen, because I don't know why we don't tell the complete story with Josh Allen's career. It's like we only want to tell the good parts, and nobody wants to tell the bad parts, which we do with just about everybody else. We tell these parts of the story. The last 2 years, Buffalo has had a chance to beat Kansas City in the postseason. They absolutely have. And both times, their quarterback was not good enough to put one drive together to possibly end the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go back to 2 years ago and the missed field goal.
1:47 to go in the game on 4th down and 9 for Buffalo. Placement down. Bass's kick is up, and the kick is no good. A little prophecy. Tyler Bass has struggled, and he just misses the kick.
Kansas City will next snap with a 34-yard.
And the Chiefs will take over at the point of the missed kick. Their own 34-yard line as Tyler Bass misses this wide to the right.
The Buffalo Bills had the ball with 2:07 to go, 1st and 10 from the Chiefs' 27-yard line. Down 3. You got a chance to win that game. It was a 15-play drive. They were moving the football. Well, we all know at some point it becomes money time. I don't care what you did back there. All right, it's go time now. It was 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. Buffalo got 1 more yard in that game. 1 more yard. You lost. I'm sorry. You lost. We got to tell the full story of Josh Allen's career. It's not like he hasn't had chances to beat Patrick Mahomes. He definitely has had chances. He just hasn't capitalized on any of those chances. That was an opportunity at home in the playoffs with the ball with less than 8 minutes to go. They had it. And they had a 6-minute drive. They were moving the football against Kansas City's defense until they stopped. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. They got 1 more yard and kicked a 40-something yard field goal. Their kicker missed. You lose. Good day, sir. Go home. Same thing happened last year.
4 to the left side of the field. That's the wide side. Ball will be snapped on the right hash. 4th and 5. Josh Allen. Now he brings Khalil Shakir in motion. Orbit motion, now peels back to the left. Chiefs are chasing Josh Allen. He throws it up for grabs, and the pass is incomplete! Incomplete! Off the arm of the would-be receiver, Dalton Kincaid! Kansas City has the second 4th down stop in this half!
That was the Chiefs radio network. I mean, last year, same thing. The Chiefs are up 32-29. This is a close one-possession game. The Chiefs, it's tied at 29. The Chiefs go down the field, and they kick a field goal. The Chiefs do what they're supposed to do. Now, you feel like you left a little bit of money on the table, but the Chiefs go down the field and get points. Now it's on Buffalo. It is 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line with 3 minutes to go. This is what you spend all off season. This is what you spend 20 weeks of the NFL season preparing for this moment. The MVP quarterback on the road at Arrowhead with an opportunity to silence everybody. They got 16 yards on the drive and got a turnover on down. That's what they got. They went 16 yards and got a turnover on down. He didn't complete a pass on the drive. So I just want everybody to tell the truth about Josh Allen. It hasn't all been woe is me. It hasn't just been the 13-second. It hasn't just been that. Some of that has been you. Some of that has been your offense. Some of that has been your team and the inability to come through, to break through in this one. And I've been saying this all week. If Buffalo fumbles this opportunity they have right in front of them where they can be the 1 seed, where their division feels wide open, it will haunt them forever. And if you were thinking about Kansas City's offense, the way that they have played of late, this is not encouraging if you were them. I want to play for you guys what Jeremy White had to say, talking about the Bills' pass defense. It ain't good.
They've got issues. I mean, Ed Oliver is out. He's been great when he's in. He's out. At safety, Taylor Rapp, he just was put on injured reserve last week. He is going to miss the rest of the season after a knee issue, but he was downright dreadful for them in the secondary, and safety was a big, big concern. Terrell Bernard and Matt Milano are both good to go for this game, but we've got big questions about them. They're just not playing the way they used to. So it's a defense that went through an overhaul, and only about half of the reinforcements that have supposed to come in have come in. But I tend to agree, if you think you can get this defense, I think you can too. There's a stat out there that they're good against the pass, but I think that's a lie. I think it's kind of only good against the pass because of teams having so much success against the run that they don't really need to pass. If Kansas City comes in and passes, I think we're about to find out the Bills' pass defense might be a problem too.
That ain't encouraging right now playing the Chiefs. I mean, that's just not encouraging. You know, we talk about styles make fights. If you were playing Kansas City with a shaky pass rush and a leaky secondary, that don't sound good. That don't sound good at all. You know, Andy. Andy is waiting to throw it 40 times. He hates this 3rd and 1. We got to run the ball. No, we throwing it 40, 50 times. Y'all can't get after the quarterback and you can't defend? You think you're defending Rashee Rice with that guy? You think you're stopping Xavier Worthy with him? I'm about to light y'all up today. It don't sound good for Buffalo. Maybe you guys think I'm overconfident heading into this matchup. I genuinely feel like the Chiefs are just better than Buffalo. I just genuinely think they're better. I don't trust Buffalo. They've played 2 teams with the pulse this year. They lost to both of those teams. They lost at home to the Patriots, and they got handled by the Falcons. I mean, it wasn't close. At least when the Chiefs lost on the road against the Jaguars, it was back and forth, pick 6 here. No, from start to finish, they let Bijan Robinson and Michael Penix just fish fillet the defense. I'm not as high on Buffalo as I was coming into the season, but Buffalo's got a chance. We can all play the schedule game with Buffalo. If they beat Kansas City, that conversation's over. You beat who we think's the best team in the league. It's over. You regrouped. You won. You're not at 100%. You figured out a way to win. We got to give Buffalo their props. Same way with Kansas City. If you go on the road and beat this Buffalo team and you're heading into the bye at 6-3, you got to feel great about where you are. Coming up on the other side, we had Park join us earlier today. We'll play it for you. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your new home for K-State Athletics, 96.5. The Fan, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, folks, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Many men remember their first time. Not that first time. I'm talking about the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined that special moment. And if you're over 50, then the chances are then you've experienced this before. That first time can be frustrating. It can be a little bit embarrassing. But here's the good news. At Heartland Men's Health, that first time can also be the last time. Heartland Men's Health specializes in treating ED when the pills and herbals fail.
With a success rate of over 90%, many men see results just after one visit. So your first visit is just $99, which includes a consult, lab work, and if medically advised, you get a test dose. And if it doesn't work right there in the office, then your visit is on the house. So don't let ED define your sex life. Call my friends at Heartland Men's Health today at 844-447-6600 or check out the website, heartlandmenshealth.com today. You can also stop by and visit any of the 3 area locations, Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City. Be sure to stop by Heartland Men's Health.
FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet everything from the money line to over-unders to which team will win it all. You'll be able to build parlays, bet player props, or even ride the live line. Whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can pick which player will score the next touchdown or the touchdown after that. However you play your game, FanDuel's got your back. On December 1st, you'll be able to see for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get in on the action. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
DQ presents the sound of your next meal at DQ. It's the sound of savoring a signature stack burger, loving a chicken strip basket, or digging into everyday value with the $7 meal deal. Wait, where is the sound? Am I missing something? Oh, it's quiet because they're too busy enjoying their DQ food. Makes sense. So delicious and so peaceful. Grab your favorite from the DQ food menu today at participating U.S. locations. Only at DQ. Happy tastes good.
This is the Let's Revitalize Our Neighborhoods commitment. This is the Roll Up Our Sleeves and Pitch In commitment. This is Busey, where our commitment to strengthen our communities is a top priority. Through energetic, engaged volunteers, through monetary support, community leadership, and advocacy. Because Busey is more than a bank that does well, we're a bank that does good. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth, since 1868. Member FDIC.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Hi, this is Sarah at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
I've always dreamed of a beautiful kitchen, but my wife just wants to stay organized.
You know what they say about opposites.
That they can't agree on a kitchen?
Well, IKEA kitchens come in many styles with a variety of customizable organizers. So maybe you're not opposites at all.
Beautiful and organized. Now we just have to figure out what to eat.
That's a different department. Get the kitchen of your dreams at a price you didn't dream possible at ikea.us/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
Find what you love and love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, find what you love only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly, B21.
The NBA is back. It's NBA tip-off week, and FanDuel is your home for live betting. So even if you miss tip-off or you want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything. For who's going to score next to a fourth-quarter comeback. You can even combine your bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout, however you want to play. Now is the perfect time to join. FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 wager wins. So all you need to do is visit FanDuel.com. Use my promo code KFNZ to sign up today. Fall is here, so celebrate the return of basketball season with our friends over at FanDuel. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Kansas. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issue. Non-withdrawal bonus bet expires 7 days on the street. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement. Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem. Get out with your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700. Visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take DayQuil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the DayQuil.
Undo your flu symptoms with DayQuil Intense Flu. DayQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu, the daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Chiefs coverage brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. Visit eatandys.com to find the location nearest you. Top your day with a smile.
Let me tell you about my good friend Andy from Andy's Frozen Custard. He's from Kansas City, never misses a game, and serves the world's finest frozen custard. Tailgate with a pick six, or grab a freshly made custom treat before or after a game. And tell him Mitch and Andy sent you.
Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custard. We've got the problem in Belton, 49 southbound at 155th. Right lane is blocked. Multi-car crash still working in Gardner, 35 northbound past Gardner Road in the left lane. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Rashi Rice from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. Well, earlier today, we got a chance to catch up with Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1, but he's Park on this show. You guys know that. We talked to him about the clip where Jim Nantz said that these two quarterbacks need each other, and we asked him if he agreed or disagreed.
Josh Allen is the second best player in football. Mahomes is the best. Allen has beaten Mahomes in the regular season. Mahomes has beaten Allen in the playoffs. But it is the ultimate team game where Nick and I agree that, like, he agrees with me that Allen is the second best player in football. Where we disagree, I think, is on, like, the gap in the talent. The Bills traded the Chiefs the 10th overall pick in the 2017 draft, where the Chiefs drafted Mahomes. My argument is if the Bills would have kept that pick and the Chiefs would have drafted Mahomes, and Allen would have had the year behind Alex Smith, and he would have had Andy Reid, and he would have had Tyreek Hill, and he would have had Travis Kelce, and he would have had, Schwartz and that offensive line and the whole thing, Josh Allen would be a Super Bowl champion today. And Patrick Mahomes would be largely in the situation that Josh Allen is in today. Like, that they are close enough as talents. Now, maybe the Chiefs have one less, and maybe Buffalo has broken through and has one. But I do not believe that the gap between the individual of Patrick Mahomes and the individual of Josh Allen is so huge that it's ridiculous to say that those two are rivals. Now, is Mahomes the winner of the rivalry? Of course. Is it truly Manning v. Brady because Brady had the team accomplishments and Manning had the individual statistics? Like, no, it's not a perfect corollary. But when we're talking about the best against the second best, and by my eye test, my scout test, or whatever, the second best is not that much worse than the first guy, I think it's totally reasonable to say that they're rivals.
This is where I think there has been proven to be a decent-sized gap between these two. I've seen Mahomes in a lot of those ideal quarterback situations, those textbook, your team is down 4, you got to go down the field, you got to score a touchdown, it is on you to lead a drive. And I've seen Mahomes have success in those scenarios. The last 2 seasons, Buffalo had a chance to knock off Kansas City. 2 years ago, they settled for a field goal, and Tyler Bass missed a 47-yard field goal. The next year, Buffalo got the ball at the 30-yard line. They didn't get to midfield in that scenario, turnover on downs, and then Kansas City wins the game. I'm with you. I think if we are judging regular season accomplishments, I don't think there's a large gap between these two. But if we're talking bottom of the ninth, 10 seconds left in the game, we're talking a 2-minute drive, you got to go down the field. I've seen Mahomes do that time after time, where I haven't seen Josh Allen do that yet, and that's the difference in these two.
Well, did he do it in the 13-second game?
And then Mahomes did it better than him, which sometimes in life people are just better than you. Patrick Ewing's an incredible player. Reggie Miller's an incredible player. Michael Jordan was just better than they were. That's life.
Right, but that's the thing. When people keep saying, when you do bottom of the ninth or you do basketball, this isn't baseball or basketball. This is football. Like, Josh Allen literally did it, and he left 13 seconds on the clock. And then Mahomes did it, but Mahomes needed Butker to make a kick. And then he needed to win a coin toss. Like, things that he didn't have anything to do with. And then they went and they did it in overtime, to his credit. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Mahomes. Mahomes is, I'm with you. He's the most talented guy I've ever seen. He is chasing Brady. I'm not saying that, I'm not taking anything away from him. I am merely saying that Josh Allen absolutely, to me, has proven that he can do it, but he doesn't have Andy Reid. He doesn't have Chris Jones. He doesn't have the things that Mahomes has had that have been better on the Chiefs side than the Bills side. And if we go back to from 2020 to today, Mahomes is first in the NFL in passing yards, passing touchdowns, regular season wins, and playoff wins. Josh Allen is third in passing yards. Justin Herbert just passed him for second like 2 weeks ago. He is second in passing touchdowns, second in regular season wins, and second in playoff wins. So if the guy is second to Mahomes in everything in a 5.5-year sample, I just can't say that the gap is that big because of a drive in a playoff game last year. Like, was it a big drive? Of course. But there's no part of me that believes that Josh Allen, who's had, 24 touchdowns and 5 turnovers in his 10 career games against Kansas City, who's averaging over 300 yards from scrimmage against the Chiefs in the playoffs. Like, there's no part of me that believes that Josh Allen is not good enough to beat the Chiefs in the regular season or the playoffs.
Right now, we're talking to Danny Parkins of Fox Sports 1. You can catch him on First Things First coming up later today. Danny, if I had a crystal ball, then I'd tell you that one of these teams lose their division, that either Denver, New England, the Chargers, whomever you think it's going to be, that those teams are going to represent the AFC West or East and not Kansas City or Buffalo. Which team do you think it would be? Which team is more likely to lose their division? Is it Kansas City or Buffalo?
Kansas City. Just because there's 2 teams in front of them. Like, again, I think the Chiefs are going to win their division. Like, to be very clear, I didn't leave Kansas City and become a Chiefs hater. Like, I root for the Chiefs if it's not the Bears. I marvel at what Mahomes and Reid do. I'm close still with people in the organization, my wife's family. Like, it's not that, but just the math of it says if the Chiefs lose this game to Buffalo and fall to 5-4, and they're in third place. Denver's got Houston, 50-50 shot of being 7-2. The Chargers have the Titans, like a 70-30 shot, if not more, probably more, actually, 80-20, of them being 6-3. So the Chiefs would be a game back of the Chargers in the loss column, 2 games back of the Broncos, but really 2 games back of the Chargers because they already lost the game head-to-head. So I just think because of the hole they dug, and there's 2 other good teams in the AFC West, and there's only 1 other good team in the AFC East, that just the math says that the Chiefs are more likely to not win their division. But again, to be clear, I think both the Chiefs and the Bills will win their division.
Right now, we're talking to Danny Parkins, getting you ready for Chiefs and Bills. One criticism that a lot of people here locally have had about Buffalo is, if you look at their schedule, it's a little soft. Now, they beat the Ravens in week 1. I think they get credit for beating the Ravens. The Ravens were not hurt at that time. Sure, we got different information as the season progressed, but that's a good win in week 1 for Buffalo. Since then, any team that they've played with the pulse, they lost. They lost to the Patriots at home. They went on the road against the Falcons and really just got dominated. The Falcons controlled that game for all 60 minutes of it. Do you have questions about Buffalo maybe and their ability to stand up against those teams? This team, this Buffalo team, they don't seem as dominant as some of the teams that we've seen in years past, where I got to see them proven in 2025 that they're in that same caliber that we've seen them over the last handful of years.
I agree completely. I think that is totally fair. I think that's more fair on the defensive side of the ball. Like, I think Josh Allen is a proven commodity, and I think their offensive line is excellent, and James Cook leads the NFL in rushing. So I do not think that there's much question for me about the Bills' offense. The Bills' defense, I think, is 9th right now in scoring, but to your point, they've played a bunch of tomato cans, and their rush defense is the worst it's been under Sean McDermott by more than 20 yards per game, and their pass defense, statistically, is okay, but when they played Drake May, they got carved up, and when they played Lamar Jackson, they got carved up. and there's the Ed Oliver injury, and there's some issues there with some injuries on the defensive side of the ball. So the Chiefs should move the ball. The Chiefs should put it in the end zone. The Chiefs have scored 28 points in 5 straight games at this point, including the loss to Jacksonville. So yeah, I definitely think there are questions about how good this Buffalo team is on the defensive side of the ball. I do not think there are legitimate questions about how good Josh Allen or their offense is.
Normally, I feel like these two teams are pretty even, but my take this week has been this. In week 2, I picked the Philadelphia Eagles. And people are like, why? Why are you picking the Eagles? Well, because the Eagles were just better than Kansas City. We saw that in the Super Bowl. There was no reason to think otherwise. I kind of feel the same way, but in reverse, at least for this one. I think right now Kansas City is better than Buffalo. I like their quarterback more with how he's playing. I think Mahomes is playing as well as any quarterback in the league. This is as well as Mahomes has played in maybe 3 seasons. I think Kansas City's offense is more complete this year than they've been in years past. I like Kansas City's offense. You just mentioned the defense. No question to me who has the better defense in this. I would take the Chiefs coaching staff over I would take the Bills. I just think that the Chiefs are a better version of the Bills, and I'm guessing on Sunday we see that play itself out.
Yeah, I think that's all totally fair. Listen, the Bills were my Super Bowl pick before the year, and Josh Allen was my MVP pick on TV. But it's not who you play, but when you play them. Right now, there's really no argument to be made that the Bills are better than the Chiefs. Now, they play them tough all the time. They play them tough in the regular season. It's in Buffalo. It's maybe the last time the Chiefs go, obviously we don't know how the playoffs are going to shake out, but could be the last time the Chiefs go to this stadium. It's going to be a raucous home crowd environment for Buffalo. So this game can go either way, but based on the 2025 data that we have on these two teams, clearly the Chiefs have put together a more impressive resume than Buffalo.
That was our guy, Danny Parkins of FS1. Coming up on the other side, we'll give you our official prediction. We'll also look ahead to the action that we have coming up this weekend. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison. Watch the show on YouTube by subscribing to the 965 YouTube channel. The Drive, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, I want to tell you guys about my friends over at The Other Place. Kansas City has a big game this weekend, and I know you're going to be looking for a place to watch it. Well, stop by and go see our friends at The Other Place. They got a 14-inch two-topping pizza for $12. They got an $8 wing basket, and you can also get some tots for $12. A $4 domestic OP cup. If you want to go do something after work, go celebrate Red Friday with $6 select appetizers and a Busch Light Tall Boy. You know our guy, Rob. He loves a Busch Light Tall Boy. So on Sunday, if you're looking for a one-of-a-kind game day experience, a game day atmosphere that rivals being at the game and some of the best pizza in town, go stop by and see our friends at The Other Place.
Hi, I'm Dallas, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You know she loves her Shane Company engagement ring, but you also want to surprise her for her birthday, anniversary, or just because she deserves it. Why not get her a bigger diamond with our Easy Trade-Up program? We'll give you the full credit of your original natural diamond purchase toward a new one. Her new diamond only has to be $1 more. You only pay the difference. How's that for an easy trade-up? Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Because a friend wants you to win the gifting game. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Ready for action, hockey fans? BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, is giving players another reason to lace up and hit the ice this season. BetMGM is adding extra excitement to the goals, the checks, the face-offs, and the breakaways with special promotions, new features, and more. Log in throughout the season to find odds boost tokens, no sweat tokens, and parlay boost tokens in your account to amplify your winnings. Enjoy enhanced product features like Dark Mode 2. Log into BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the NHL, all throughout the hockey season to see what's new. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door, RENNER, forward and back.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Renner Garage Door has proudly served our community for decades. The best styles, technology, and family values. That's Renner. Get your free repair or replacement quote today. Forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER.
Tonight, expect a low of 36 with mostly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this. Here's traffic, brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
This one brought to you by Renner Garage Door, Raytown. That's a crash, and it's 435 southbound before Eastwood. Right lane is blocked. Down near Belton, you've got a stall 49 southbound at 155th, blocking the right lane. Renner Garage Doors proudly serve KC for nearly 70 years, offering the latest styles, smart technology, trusted family-owned reliability. Get your free estimate today, rennerdoor.com, RENNER, forward and back. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right, before we sign off, I think the Chiefs win this game comfortably. My official prediction is going to be 31-21. What do you have, Rob?
We see this very, very similar. I also the Chiefs by a big number. I believe I put it 34-24, so I think the Chiefs are taking care of business. Easy money this weekend.
Let's go through the other games that we have this week in the National Football League. I think there's like 5 big games, and that one is Chiefs and Bills is in that conversation as well. You know what? There's probably only one college game I would say I'm really interested in this week.
Can you even watch it?
It's Texas Vanderbilt.
Can you even watch that one? You have YouTube TV?
I can't watch it through YouTube TV. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch it. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch it. But yeah, I'm going to watch it. You think Texas wins this game? You think you think the Vanderbilt conversation's over? Because if they lose this game, it's over.
I think Vanderbilt wins. I don't think Arch is playing either. I think they're playing coy with Arch, but I don't think Arch is playing. Even if he does, I don't think
better for Texas if Arch don't play.
I mean,
you think their backup's worse than what we've seen that kid do so far this season?
Texas needed a miracle, like an overtime stop against Kentucky, dregs the SEC, and they needed a historic comeback against Mississippi State. This is a massive level up in competition. Now, it'll be an ugly game, but I think Vanderbilt's going to win, and we're going to actually have legitimate Vanderbilt playoff conversations.
Yeah, I was reading a story about why Vanderbilt is the underdog, and the head of Caesar Sportsbook said Texas brand is too strong. Like, if you got Texas brand up against Vanderbilt and Texas is at home, he's like, just the public is just going to side with Texas in a game like this. Like, Vegas thinks that Vanderbilt is the better team between the two, but just Arch is on one side, Texas is on one side, their fan base, that's why the number is the number.
Also, Pavia, I mean, I know he beat South Carolina. The one time they've had to go on a road to a top-flight competition, they looked a little bit like a pumpkin. Now, Bama's a lot better than
Texas ain't Alabama.
Yeah, that's fair. But Pavia also played bad in that game, which is part of the story.
Let me ask you this. You got Niners on the road against the Giants, Colts on the road against the Steelers, Broncos on the road against the Texans, Seahawks on the road against Commanders. I think it's safe to say that those are 4 playoff teams, certainly 4 teams that are very strongly in the mix. You and I both know all 4 of these teams ain't winning. That ain't how the National Football League works. One of these teams is going to lose. Who do you think that is out of this 4? Niners, Colts, Broncos, Seahawks.
I think the Broncos are getting sniped this weekend. I think we're going to talk on Monday about how the weekend went perfect for the Chiefs. They will have throttled the Bills, and the Broncos are going to get sniped by a Texans team that's playing a little saltier football of late. So I think the Broncos are most likely to get sniped in that group.
I think the Steelers are going to win. I think the Steelers are going to take care of business at home against the Colts. I like this Colts team. The Steelers are just one of those teams. They just win a fall football game at home. I had a lot of fun this week. Hopefully you guys did as well. Why don't we start the bye week with the win? We'll catch you guys next week. And until then, happy Halloween. And more importantly, I'll let Daniel Craig take you home.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
This is Wyatt Thompson from K-State, and you're listening to The Drive with CDOT right here on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
Brought to you by DM Injury Law. Have you or a loved one been in a car wreck? Contact DM Injury Law today and get the money you deserve. Car wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Hey, what's up, flies? This is David Spade.
Dana Carvey.
Look, I know we never actually left, but I'll just say it. We are back with another season of Fly on the Wall.
Every episode, including ones with guests, will now be on video. Every Thursday, you'll hear us and see us chatting with big-name celebrities.
And every Monday, you're stuck with just me and Dana. We react to news, what's trending, viral clips.
Follow and listen to Fly on the Wall everywhere you get your podcasts.
At Casey's, we're too nice.